Hello and welcome to historic Savannah, Georgia, where Edward Waters Tigers travel to Theodore A. Wright Stadium to take on the Savannah State Tigers. I'm J.J. Jurjevich alongside Todd Corder. You can't start with a more important game than a conference opponent. The last 5 SIAC champions have all been unbeaten in conference play.
As former New York Giants head coach Tom Coughlin says, if you are not early, you're late. Show up late today, and all of a sudden, it's late in the season. For Edward Waters, a 3-7 mark last season. However, the Tigers won their last 2. Let's see if they can build on that. For Savannah State, 2024 was Heartbreak City, 5-5 overall, 4-4 in the SIAC. 1 loss on a missed extra point in overtime, and the other by 1 score. Time to flip the script.
Let's get to our impact players first for the traveling Edward Waters Tigers.
For Edward Waters offensively, junior offensive lineman Desmond Self, first team preseason SIAC, a road grader. Defensively for Edward Waters, sophomore defensive end Tyrese Williams, second team preseason SIAC, a menace in the offensive backfield.
And for the home Savannah State Tigers,
offensively for Savannah State, graduate wide receiver Jaden Adams / Cordell Stewart type, can play quarterback, wide receiver, and running back. He'll line up everywhere. For Savannah State defensively, junior defensive lineman Xavier Esquilin, first team preseason SIAC, will get to the quarterback and they'll move him around.
and we're live here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium. Savannah State has Brian Jenkins Sr., your interim head coach for Edward Waters, right there. Players shaking hands, captains shaking hands, humidity in the air, rain all day here, hot and humid. Cramping could be an issue today. We'll talk about it. Savannah State will get the ball first. Edward Waters deferred to the second half. Todd, it's biggest opening weekend in SIAC in a long, long time. 12 of his 13 teams are playing in 10 games across 8 states, 5 nationally televised contests, 3 involving preseason nationally ranked squads. You had a game earlier today in Detroit where Central State went down by 10 points to Kentucky State, a rivalry in that one. So important to start off right in conference play, Todd.
It sure is. We mentioned in the pregame the last 5 conference SIAC conference champions have gone undefeated. As you see, Aaron Kelton for Savannah State in his 4th season, 12-18 overall, 36-67 overall in his career. And this is a huge game, JJ, because there's really not been room for error.
Not a lot of error, just 121 miles separate these campuses from Jacksonville to Savannah State. They call it the I-95 rivalry for a reason. Teams are kneeling in the end zone for prayer, and this is the start of the 2025 SIAC football season, and we're glad you're here joining us. TC, let's get to your 3 keys for the game.
Let's do it. Tell you what, balance on offense is critical. Last year's game between Savannah State and Edward Waters, Savannah State was able to throw it but struggled to run it. For Edward Waters, they ran for over 200 yards a year ago, but they couldn't throw it as much as they liked. 2, special teams. We mentioned in the pregame, Savannah State lost a game in overtime on an extra point attempt. Those are critical. They dictate field position. 3, turnovers. Last year's game, there was only 1 turnover, but it decided a 1-score game. And anytime you look at a box score in a college football game, you will see the team that committed the most turnovers is likely to lose.
And check that, it will be Edward Waters receiving the kick. I got that a little confused there. 27, Jimmy Tran set to kick it off. For the Savannah State Tigers, back deep. Check that number in a second. Number 80. It's Kyron Jackson, the wide receiver out of Jacksonville, Florida, local guy. Kickoff for the 25 SIAC season underway, and Jackson's got a flag on the play. He's up past the 40-yard line. Savannah State's acting like it's a hold. We'll check with the lead referee, James Brown, for the day.
Brady Tillman is the one that returned that kick for Edward Waters, but a flag on the play, and we'll see if it'll come back. Good Tillman, second team all SIAC. He is a huge field flipper, the tailback from his hometown, Noonan, Georgia.
By both teams. Offside. Kicking team, number 25. Holding. Receiving team, number 40. Those fouls all set. Re-kick.
So
As you hear James Brown say, offsetting penalties, so we'll get to redo the opening kickoff of the 2025 SIAC football season.
And you could see Tillman's speed from Jump Street, the East Coweta High School product, the transfer from Louisiana, Monroe. And this kid is lightning in a bottle, and if you kick it to him, you're taking your chance.
Indeed you are. So Jimmy Tran will line back up with the special teams kickoff unit and try and boot this one, maybe even away from Tillman this time.
Head coach for Edward Waters is Brian Jenkins. He's the intern head coach, 55 and 31 overall in his career. 4 MEAC championships at Bethune-Cookman in 10, 12, 13, and 14. 3-time MEAC coach of the year.
Correction. Edward Waters has fined the offside penalty by Savannah State. It'll be a holding assess.
Okay, so
the spot of the foul, it'll be a first down, Edward Waters.
So we will not re-kick. They will decline the offsides penalty on Savannah State. They'll accept the holding call for the Edward Waters Tigers, and we'll start off this SIAC football game from the 30-yard line with Edward Waters.
Brian Jenkins played at Cincinnati. He was the Bearcats' career leader in kickoff returns, 62, and return yards over 1,500. And I'm sure he's thinking, man, Brady Tillman, he reminds me of me when I returned it back in the day.
11 personnel. Bodden drops back, launches it deep. Separation, good defensive play by 25. Christopher Murray, the 5'10", 175-pound graduate out of Academy of Richmond County. Great play. Way to get up.
You see the last second he knocked it away, did Murray, as it was intended for. It was intended for Aiden Showers, 6'3", 185-pound sophomore, East Bay High School.
So Noah Bodden in the shotgun, 11 personnel yet again. Handoff to Jontarius Thomas, 5'6" running back out of Gadsden County, Florida. Falls forward for about 2 yards, 2.5 yards there.
Thomas, second team all SIAC, got a block there. Good job there by the Savannah State defense to slow him down for a short gain.
Bowden gets the play from the sideline, a little up-tempo to start this game. The third down and medium here. .14 in motion.
Got a
That's
penalty
John
already.
Baptiste. Looks like we got a false start.
So that's going to back up Edward Waters, and, you know, penalties are something that you cannot start behind the 8 ball
5-yard.
on the false start. So instead of, now you've got 3rd and long, you've got 3rd and 11 for Edward Waters. That's a big difference than from 3rd and 6.
Absolutely. Not many play calls for 3rd and 12. Desmond Self was the offender there, the preseason SIAC All-American. Bowden again in the shotgun. Looking, first read, fires deep. Goes up and gets it. 88 with the play. A wonderful grab by Antonio Russell, 5'10" out of Pinson, Alabama. The sophomore, 175, went up, mossed his defender, loses his helmet, stays focused.
Here it is. You see Pinson going up in between two defenders, came down with a football, and it's good for an Edward Waters first down. Good attempt there defensively for Savannah State by Naper, Amari, but he wasn't able to knock the pass down, and now we've got a first down for Edward Waters.
Quick drop over the middle from Bowden to 11. Looks like that ball's on the ground. It is. It's picked up by Kirk Smith of the Savannah State Tigers. And an early momentum swing here, Todd.
We'll see if they have a discussion here whether he was down on the catch. The tight end, Polk, Fatoma Polk, the sophomore from Miami. Let's see here on the replay. Was he down? He sure held the ball like a loaf of bread. He looks like he's down there. The ball caused that. Yep. So it'll be second down, JJ. He was down by contact.
I don't know about that. You didn't look down to me either. I'm looking at it right now on that replay, and you don't have challenges at this level, so we'll see if...
Let's take a look at it again here.
Oh, that's out.
It's really close. Oh, there is a challenge, and they're going to review it. Did his knee go down before the ball came out? That'll be the key.
The challenge is new at the SIAC this level. I have completely forgot about that, so forgive me, audience. We will go to the review play, the review booth.
So it'd either be second and short, 2nd and 4 for Edward Waters, or Savannah State will take over on its own 36-yard line, 13 and 2 to go, in a scoreless first half. And this is really close. So I don't know. It looked like maybe the ball came out before the knee hit. That's going to be the entire question right there on the play, what they're going to decide.
From our great work from the camera team, looks to me like that ball was coming out as he was getting to the ground. It's going to be one of those, where was his shin? Where was his knee? Was he able to keep it? Was he able to get to the ground? Was the defense able to hold him up and pull it out? Here it is one more time.
Right, here it is. Let's see. Oh, it's so close. It's almost at the same time. When you watch it live, it looked like his knee was down, but there it's bang, bang. And I think they're going to keep it. I think they're going to keep it Edward Waters football, but we'll find out. It's really super close.
James Brown has a tough decision to make. The right camera angle makes all the difference in a call like this. And this is new to us here in the booth. So,
and a critical call in the early going in this game. I mean, it's a field position flipper when you think about it. Savannah State's either going to have it on the 36 or on their own 36, or Edward Waters is going to have it 2nd and 4. Gosh, see, the knee is down right, well,
in
right
that frame, it's
there.
out. That ball's out.
Right, in that frame, it's out. We'll see what they decide. It took several frames for us to be able to tell. In real time, it was very difficult to tell.
Here comes James Brown with the decision.
I think it's going to be Savannah State's ball. We'll be surprised. Look.
Well, another thing here
was
was Kirk Smith's knee down when he received that. We'll see. We'll go to James Brown.
The runner lost the ball, and Savannah State recovered the ball at the 34-yard line. It'll be first down, Savannah State. Savannah State will retain one more challenge.
And guess what, JJ? We talked about it. Turnovers would be huge, and we already have one, and we haven't played 2 minutes. We're just shy of 2 minutes into this one.
Yeah, turnovers, the all equalizer, as we like to call it. And here we go, flipping from offense to defense. The Savannah State Tigers come out with Christian Burke. Not under center in shotgun.
And Burke's played he started 3 games. The redshirt junior from Atlanta from Bremen High School. He started 3 games for Savannah State a year ago, so he does have some experience.
Man in motion is Elijah Stevens. A little handoff up the middle, not a lot going. Tackled by a host of Edward Waters Tigers.
Not much on that right side. Savannah State offensive line, they didn't get a very good push there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 9. And this Edward Waters team, they're experienced on defense.
Eric Gilbert in the backfield, signed up a tight end there. Comes Christian Burks barking the signals, getting the last second play change in from the sideline. Looking down, play clock winding down here. Is he going to get this one off? Don't think he did, but they gave it to him. Fires it wide open. It's 21 Elijah Stevens on the pitch and catch. A great play, first down up to about the 40-yard line in plus territory. And that's how you want to start a drive, an explosive play.
Elijah Stevens wide open. Somebody forgot about him, and he's finally pushed out of bounds there by Juwan Grant. So a big gain for Savannah State.
Quick snap to number 9, handoff to number 9, Joe Hamilton. Christian Burke, the 6 foot, 185, third year in this system, redshirted. And Coach Kelton told us he feels like this guy's really grown in this system.
Adams played quarterback quite a bit last year for Savannah State. They really couldn't find the guy. They hope they have the guy this season. 2nd and 10, no gain on that one. Not running the ball at all, Savannah State in the early going.
Quick motion, looking through his reads. Burke steps up in the pocket, lets it rip. It's intended for Stevens. It went right through his hands, and it was dropped by Sincere Clark.
Take a look at this here. Boy, threw that. Oh, well, it was good throw, actually. He just dropped it. Did Clark. He should have had it, the senior from Durham, North Carolina. See, JJ, that's one of the mistakes also in the game. Penalties, they hurt you just as much as turnovers. And that penalty there hurt Edward Waters, and now Savannah State will have it right on the Edward Waters 30-yard line. With 11 and 2 to go.
They'll break the huddle. Christian Burke is barking up the signals. Elijah Stevens telling the quarterback what route he's running out there, making sure he's on the line. Nice handoff to Joe Hamilton, who's going to break it. He will score. A wonderful play, 30-yard touchdown scamper for Joe Hamilton. And that's the first SIAC touchdown for Savannah State this year. Great job blocking by the offensive line up front. A 30-yard scamper, a little RPO, our zone read, and here it is.
Joseph Hamilton cut to his left, and that was it. He went untouched from there on in, and he was already in the end zone by the time an Edward Waters player touched him, Juwan Grant. And it was too late. Good job by the left side of that offensive line for Savannah State.
Jimmy Tran to kick. Edenfield, 97 to hold. The kick looks up. It looks good from our angle, and it is confirmed. That is a 7. 7-0 Savannah State. Here's the 30-yard scamper for Joe Hampton once again. The SIAC season is underway. we are back at Theodore A. Wright Stadium. J.J. Jurjevich alongside Todd Quarter right here. Just witnessed a 30-yard touchdown run from Joe Hampton. Basically untouched. Did a great job ball security going into the end zone there. Jimmy Tran will kick it off in the usual spot, the 35-yard line.
And what set that up? The turnover when Polk wasn't able to hang on to it. And a 64-yard touchdown drive for Savannah State, and the turnover led to 7.
Toe meets leather, short kick. See if they'll let that one. Oh, he makes a mistake. He fields it. Not a whole lot of room to run there. He's going to be tackled around the 15-yard line. Here's the big pass that. Yep, here's the big pass that sets up the touchdown to Elijah Stevens right here. And then here's the 30-yard scamper from Hampton. And you'll see that ball security go high and tight right here as he goes in the end zone. Great play, great run, great zone blocking by the offensive line for the Savannah State Tigers there. And Bowden comes back out in the shotgun formation with an offset back. You got 4 wide receivers out there. Calling the signals. He sees something in the defense he doesn't like. Quick throw over to the right side to John Baptiste, the senior, 5'10", 180 out of Mars Hill University. You're going with some tempo here, Todd.
Quick pitch and catch. Good gain of 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 1.
6'4" is Bowden. Another easy read, just overthrows his receiver, Jean Baptiste, yet again trying to get him into the game early and often. 10 minutes, 17 seconds left in this first quarter. 3rd and 1, 3rd and short here. Lots of plays for this. See if they do a power run game here right behind the offensive tackle. They do. Little delayed draw, but Savannah State does a really good job of containing their gaps. Jontavius Thomas down there. They are moving the chains just enough to get the first down for the Edward Waters Tigers.
Snap was high on the play. Good job there by Bowden to be able to come up with it and then hand it off to Thomas. And just got enough for the first down.
4 wide. Bowden receives the snap. Another quick read, quick throw. Nice short slant route to Aiden Showers, the 6'3", 185 sophomore.
Nice pitch and catch here to Showers, and that's good for a first down. And they're going up tempo here, trying to keep Savannah State off balance defensively.
So another play of this drive. Zone read action. Savannah State does again a good job of holding containment in their gaps. About a 3-yard gain for the Edward Waters Tigers. Jontarius Thomas on the carry again. 5'6", 190-pound junior. High snap. That ball's way over his head. This is a terrible position. And Savannah State's on it yet again. Looks like Chino Woa on the recovery there. And we've had 2 fumbles in as many possessions, Todd.
And Bowden, that's the 2nd turnover for Edward Waters, and this one's costly. He had a chance to fall on the football, as you'll see it here, and he failed to do it. Right here, all he had to do was just fall on it. Instead, it'll be Savannah State football, and they're going to have excellent field position. Well, Savannah State, that is just a huge error not to fall on that football.
And we'll be right back here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium. 7-0.
Take your education to the next level with 2 graduate degrees at Edward Waters University for the fall 2024 semester. Reach the highest levels of leadership in today's business world with our Master of Business Administration, and our Master of Arts in Education Policy and Advocacy will prepare you to be an education administrative professional. Visit ew.edu to enroll today. Edward Waters University, emerging eminence.
Since 1890, Savannah State University has prepared smart, bold students who make a difference and change their world. The results? They're making our waterways healthier, engineering better ways to work, telling the stories of our community, and creating better futures for the next generation. Seriously smart, seriously bold, seriously impressive. We are Savannah State University.
Prices are up everywhere, and they're only getting higher, making things harder. So Georgia Power is doing something about it, because you could use some relief. We're freezing our base rates for the next 3 years, so you can count on a stable, predictable budget for your home or business. With the cost of living on the rise, our 3-year rate freeze is one thing you can depend on, delivering the service that Georgia Power is known for. We're here for Georgia, and we're here for you.
And Sheena Woa was the injured Tiger on the play. 2 fumbles, 2 possessions, starting out like Georgia Tech did Friday night in Boulder.
Boy, this is a costly injury for Savannah State. Chenna Woa cannot continue.
Christian Burks under center in the I formation, hands off to number 30, David Garner Jr., who plows his way into the end zone for a 13-yard touchdown run. And bada bing, bada boom, the Savannah State Tigers are up 13-0, Todd.
Tried that left side of that offensive line for Savannah State. You saw Gardner scamper in the end zone. Nobody touched him at all. He is gone, and it's now 13-0, 2 turnovers and 2 touchdowns. And what a start for Savannah State, and what a nightmare for Edward Waters.
That's not what you want. Jimmy Tran comes in the kick. Yet again, Eden Field on the hold. But there's still plenty of time to get back in this game if you're the Edward Waters Tigers. So no, let's keep on fighting, see what you get. Kick is up, and it is good. There is a flag on the field. We will check that with Jason Brown, our head referee. Discussing the flag. Aaron Kelton's discussing it. He's discussing what he's going to do. Looks like the kick will stay.
On the defense. That penalty is declined. Try is good.
Running into the kicker was a penalty. 14-0, Savannah State Tigers. It's all smiles on the Savannah State sidelines as we come back to Theodore A. Wright Stadium. 2 fumbles, 2 possessions. Chinna Woa, with the fumble recovery, goes into the injury tent, sets up a 13-yard touchdown scamper by Gardner Jr. And here we are. Stage is set. Edward Waters just needs to settle down and get in this game, get some first downs, Todd.
I'll tell you what, that's a big loss, though, for Savannah State if Chinna Woa cannot continue to play. The linebacker, the senior from Atlanta South Cobb High School.
There's the kick from Jenny Tran, fielded at the 10-yard line. Makes a move. That's 80. It's another going 50. Got one man to beat. It's Jimmy Tran, and he will take it all the way to the house for a touchdown. There is absolutely no flags on the play. That is Kieran Jackson out of Jacksonville, Florida, the local guy, with a 90-yard kickoff return, and fireworks have been had in this opening game.
What a beautiful run by Jackson, just what the doctor ordered. If you're Edward Waters, take the kickoff back and cut the score in half immediately, barring the extra point. Great move there. And then you scampered down the sidelines, and nobody was going to get him, as you saw a last-ditch effort there by Tran, the kicker, and he wasn't able to get him. So now here's a great chance to cut the lead in half as they'll attempt the extra point.
Ryan Gagne on to attempt the extra point, the freshman.
Delay game. Offense. Our penalty, we'll still have.
And see, you just can't have a delay a game on an attempted extra point. There's no excuse for it. I know it's the first game of the season, but you need this point desperately. Now you're backed up 5 extra yards. And if you make it, great. If you don't, then you're going to look at that, and potentially that could be the difference in the kick.
Could be. The snap, high snap, good hold, good kick. It is 14-7. Savannah State now on top after the explosive kickoff return by Jackson. And Edward Waters right back in this football game.
Here you see the kick return again. Got a good block there, and then changed his direction and sprinted down the sidelines, and nobody was going to catch him, and his speed was critical there. As you see the last missed tackle, and Jackson dances his way into the end zone.
Did a really good job of high rope in the sideline, tight rope in the sideline there, staying in bounds on that one.
Kyren Jackson just put Edward Waters right back in this thing, transfer from Albany State University, Madeira High School, Jacksonville, Florida native, and we'll see if Savannah State can answer. And you just don't know. We'll find out. They have an excellent return game themselves.
It's Ryan Gagne on the kick here. Back deep to receive at the about 7-yard line. Another good return here. Flag on the play. That was Joe Hampton back there receiving the kick. We'll see what Mr. Brown has to say on this penalty flag. Looks like a hold against Savannah State is the initial indication. We'll see who the offender is.
During return, holding, receiving team, number 19, 10-yard penalty from the spot to foul, first down.
Wide receiver Jordan Anderson in on kickoff return there was the offender of the penalty. Bring up a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Savannah State here. And this will be the most backed up they've been early in this game as we approach the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. Christian Burks will lead his team out.
We had a lot of fireworks so far.
21 points in this first quarter. You are exactly right.
Turnovers and special teams.
There's a jet sweep. About a 7-yard pickup there for Williams, the running back out of Greenville, North Carolina.
Pretty good play as you see Zaire Williams get a block here. A nice block. Got about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4. Good block there by Sincere Clark.
Going a little bit more slow and methodical now as Christian Burks will be under center, which you don't see that much. This is a pleasant surprise to me because I love seeing a quarterback go under center and get into his drop back. Early flag here indicates a false start on Savannah State. That'll back them up about 5.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And that just negated the run on the reverse.
Khalifa.
And now instead of 2nd and 4, you have 2nd and 9. That's a big difference.
Big difference, yeah, and a big mistake by 73, Khalifa Sina. Christian Burks under center again. 2 tight ends, 12 personnel. Hands it off. Short gain there on 2nd down to Zaire Williams yet again. Not a whole lot cooking there. Going to bring up a 3rd down.
You mentioned Sine, all SIAC preseason 2nd team. And notice they're running his way. Is Savannah State. And now it's 3rd and 6. Well, that's a lot tougher than what it could have been earlier. Had they taken the 6 yards on the first play, they would have had a 1st down.
Shotgun formation. Sincere Clark in motion, breaks off. Great catch by Elijah Stevens. Pressure in his face. Christian Burke still makes the play. What a wonderful pocket presence to get outside and extend the play here.
Boy, Burks did a great job and an excellent sliding catch by Stevens for the 1st down.
Quick snap, handoff to David Garner Jr. Gain of about 2 yards there.
Well, they're trying that left side of the offensive line. That's where they've had their 2 big runs so far.
Slowing down the pace from what we saw earlier in this game. It must have been scripted in the practice leading up to this, is a little tempo to slow down and chip away at that Edward Waters defense.
Savannah State couldn't run it like this a year ago. They're off to an excellent start in the ground game.
100%. It's quarterback's best friend. It's a good run game. There's a pass over the middle. Complete, easy pitch and catch. That's Sincere Clark, again, the senior out of Durham, North Carolina, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Just a little slant route over the middle.
Actually, that was a crossing route. And that'll make it 3rd and about 6. So we'll see what they dial up here offensively. Tell you, they may run it, maybe a delayed draw, since that left side of the offensive line is doing so well. Spread them out and run it, or they may roll Burks out.
Stevens and Clark to the near side. Burks in the shotgun, receives the snap. Lofts it out. Ooh, it's a fumble on the play. What's Edward Waters going to scoop? And he's going to have a chance to score. That is a Edward Waters touchdown. Unbelievable play by David Law-Mortimer. Just athletic scoop, athletic score, and turnover again. And this game is tied just like that.
Well, you'll see the replay here. Burks found his man wide open. He caught it, and then he coughed it up.
He's right here, scoops it up about midfield. About a 50-yard scoop and score.
Right, Fowler coughed it up. And then you'll see David Law go right in the end zone. And now we're an extra point away from tying this thing in turnovers and special teams. We talked about it, and that is what's decided this game so far. I mean, what a stunning turn of events.
Edward Waters. That's their first charge timeout of the half. This is 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout.
You could see the disgust on Brian Jenkins' face. He didn't want to take a timeout on an extra point attempt.
They already had that delay of game on the last extra point attempt. So 2 unique ways to score for the Edward Waters Tigers, 2 ground and pounds for the Savannah State Tigers. And we have 2 different game plans here, but we talked to Coach Kelton earlier in the week. And Todd, he said, I want to get good at kicking. I want to get good at special teams because what? That's a third of the ball game. And in this conference, special teams right now is the difference in this ball game.
I'll tell you what, when you look at this ball game and the turn of events, how fast it's turned because of the turnovers and the special teams. And now there'll be that extra point attempt here to try to tie this thing up.
Another good hold to get the high snap down, and that ties our ball game up at 14 apiece. What a great game we have early on here in Savannah, Georgia, between 2 Tigers opponents, and the better Tiger's going to win today, Todd.
Fireworks early. We expected a low-scoring game, and it has been the exact opposite. As you see the other look here on the turnover, and he'll scoop it up eventually, and then he'll go all the way and score, and that's why we're tied at 14.
That was Braylon Fowler on the, who fumbled the ball here, and great scoop and score. Another tight rope on the sideline to stay in athletic play. We've seen that twice now in this ball game. Here comes Gagne to kick for the Edward Waters Tigers. Looking at Coach Kelton there on the sideline, barking at his team, trying to get his teams back in the game. Here's the kick. It is fielded by Hampton at the 9-yard line. Another great return. He's up. He's got a brigade in front of him. It's about speed, and he's down to about, where do they mark him out? Right around the 30. They're going up 25-yard line plus territory. That's 2 out of the last 3 drives where Savannah State has started out in plus territory. Those are those hidden yards where you get these yards. Here they go.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a touchdown-saving tackle there by Kewan Figgs, a sophomore from Augusta, Georgia, or it would have been 21-14 as you see him ride the ball carrier, or excuse me, the kick returner, Joseph Hampton, out of bounds. He saved a touchdown there.
And Coach Kelton looks a little bit happier after that special teams play.
He's not looking too happy to me. That was a nice return, but you can tell that he is disgusted having a 14, his team was down, they were up 14-0, and now it's tied, and he's disgusted they blew that lead.
Shotgun formation, David Garner Jr. A little confusion. Yeah, I thought a timeout was coming. No one seemed lined up in the right spot.
Before the play clock.
So they called the timeout right before the play clock expired, and now with 4-1 to go, at 14 all game.
Great recognition by Coach Kelton there to avoid the penalty and get behind the sticks after a momentum play. A big swing in the momentum there too. 4:01 left in the first quarter. Sun's starting to set. Clouds are moving back in. 35% chance of rain around the area. Hopefully that doesn't affect the play. Christian Burke in the spread formation, 5 wide. Garner Jr. and Sincere Clark to your near side. He brings Garner back for some pass protection.
Either that, they're going to hand off to him, and he's going to run to that far side of the field, that left side of the offensive line.
Laundry on the field.
False start. Offense. Number 1. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Jaden Adams, the offender.
Costly penalty so far has cost it.
Of the offense. 51.
Has costed each team valuable field position here in the first quarter.
Check that. Kaleem Murphy, the offensive lineman out of Bainbridge,
Please
Georgia.
4 minutes and 1 second on the game clock. 4:01.
Back to 4:01 on the game clock from James Brown.
Thank you.
This refereeing crew has been very busy early on. Joshua Jackson out there, Chloe Richards, Ron Crawford Jr. doing a great job early on in this game. Burks in the shotgun, offset with David Garner Jr. Steps up in the pocket, got a guy open. Ooh, just a little overthrown. There is a flag in the backfield. Looks like we might have a late hit here. We will check with the white hat.
You see the replay. Burke steps up in the pocket. He flicks it downfield, and Braylon Fowler just wasn't able to hold on. Yeah, that would have been a tough catch, and it would have been tough for him to stay in bounds.
Looks like we're going to back up Savannah State here. Looks like we might have a personal foul.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Offense. Number 73. 15-yard penalty. Play counts. Second down.
And it's on the second team All-SIAC, Khalifa Sine. That's his second penalty so far in this game, and you wouldn't expect that from an All-SIAC second team offensive lineman, but that's what you have thus far. And boy, they got a long way to go to get that first down. They got to go all the way down to the 26-yard line of Edward Waters, and it's second and forever.
And a second and about 30 yards here. Don't have many plays for that. What you're going to try and do is, I'd honestly run the football, do something safe here to try and just get a 5-10 yards and make it somewhat manageable on third down. Maybe play for the field goal or the short punts.
Second down.
So second down, 30 yards. Sincere Clark to your near side, 2 on the far. Shotgun formation, Christian Burke. In his face, and that is almost intercepted. Great play by 53, Pierre, the 6'4" defensive end out of Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Boy, Jamari Pierre would like this one back. He had nothing but green grass in front of him. He could have caught the football, and a critical mistake there by Burks, the quarterback, to throw that football.
Third down and long here, and Todd, we've talked about this off air. You know, at this stage of the season, defenses are usually way ahead of the offenses, and I think you're seeing a little bit of that right here. Special teams look to be pretty good for Edward Waters. We'll see if this 3rd and 30 what brings. Shotgun formation for Burke. Another flag on the play, a false start for Savannah State yet again.
Offense. Number 1. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So it was 3rd and 19. Now it'll be 3rd and 24. And the ball on the 50, they got to go all the way to the
15-yard line.
They got to go all the way, down to the 15, excuse me.
So
that's correct.
It is nearly
it's
a
long way to
40-yard.
go, yep. You're right.
It's basically close to a 35-yard scamper.
34-yard first down, right.
Here we are, shotgun formation with Burks. Little low snap. Rolls to his right, looking deep, going through his reads. Got a guy and throws it. Did he keep his feet in? We're going to watch.
Yes, he did.
He did. That is a interception by Edward Waters. That is number 22. Jalen Brown, the linebacker out of Lake City, Florida.
I don't know where Burks was throwing that football. Nobody was there, but Jalen Brown, and another turnover.
Offense, number 75. That penalty is declined. The play is first down for Waters.
Boy, that was just not, that was an ill-advised throw there, and you'll see it here. He rolls out. He's got plenty of time, and then the only one there is Brown, the only one. And a good interception, good athletic play. He's able to keep one. Let's see, he got the second one in, too.
That's a catch on Sundays.
Sure is, and now Edward Waters will have the football, and
two
they'll have it
turnovers
on their own 30, and these turnovers are adding up now.
2 apiece. The zag motion back out. Laundry on the field yet again. Not a whole lot doing on that handoff. Up the middle. Ran behind self there. Couldn't get the running back there.
This is the opposite of a year ago. Edward Waters is not able to get a running game going. They ran for over 200 a year ago. Savannah State couldn't run the ball very good a year ago, and now they're running it very well.
We'll check the penalty. Looks like Savannah State was offsides.
Personal foul.
Oh.
Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Face mask on the tackle there. Didn't catch the number. They are showing Tony Roundtree.
Number 13.
13. There's the number. Torrey Morrison. Excuse me, Amir Phillips. Bodden in the shotgun formation. Receives the snap. Quick throw. Good pitch and catch. Moving the chains up. It's Aiden Showers. About a 5-yard gain there.
Showers has been busy here in the early going. Already has a couple of catches for Edward Waters and good gain on first down. That's what you want.
Sends Thomas outside on motion. Steps up to look like a design run. Gets down smartly right at the 40-yard line for about a gain of 10 yards for Bodden there. Great play. Great awareness to get down. Save yourself from the hit.
Good job by Bodden. As you see, he reads the defense here. It looked like like you said, a pure quarterback draw, and he took advantage of it and slides for a first down.
Wide receiver to your near side, 2 to the high. Pretty good snap. Busted up. Oh, it's RPO, pulls it out. Great RPO. Faked me out. Faked the play-by-play guy out. Great job, Bodden there. Pitch and catch. Just number 11. Polk on the catch.
Good job here by Polk to secure the football and not turn it over. But it was a short gain.
Second and medium. Another good route. Another good pitch and catch. A little underneath route, underneath slant by Torrey Morrison, the 5'9", 175-pound senior out of Miami, Florida.
And they're going no huddle, not wasting any time at all.
Going fast, 100 miles an hour. Thomas gets his shoe tied by his quarterback there. That's a teammate. Bowden barking out the signals. 3 to your near side here. Another bad snap, handled. Flicks it, wide open for the touchdown. About a 29-yard touchdown pass. Aiden Showers, yet again, we mentioned his name several times. He's been heavily involved.
Showers was wide open down the seam of the field. Good job by Bowden to catch that high snap, and he's just wide open. He's got to wait for the football. And right now, Edward Waters and Aiden Showers is reigning all over the Savannah State parade in this one so far.
Gagne to kick. Good hold, good snap, good kick. And it is 21-14, the Edward Waters Tigers over the Savannah State Tigers.
what a turn of events. It was 14-0 Savannah State. And now 3 straight touchdowns by Edward Waters, and the script has been flipped. We just wide open down the seam of the defense. You'll see it again here. I mean, nobody is near Showers. No one. I mean, you know, it's rained a lot here today. How poetic that you see a guy named Showers score a touchdown, because we've had showers on and off all day.
All day. Very humid out here. Great job of hanging on to the football, and great read by Bowden. He's getting the ball out of his hands quickly, seeing what the defense gave him. No safety help over top for Savannah State. Blown coverage wide open. And this game has completely changed. Here comes Gagne to kick. Short kick going to be returned at about the 11-yard line by Joe Hampton. Here's another good block up to about the 37-yard line, where Savannah State will start this drive. Minute 6 left in the first quarter. Didn't think there'd be 35 points scored in this quarter the way it started out. And here we are.
We weren't sure we were going to get 35 points scored in this game. We thought the defenses, with the experience on each side of the football, would control this game. Instead, it's been the complete opposite. You've had special teams and turnovers, which has turned into big plays by each team's offense.
Christian Burke comes out. He's going to be under center. 2 tight ends on the field, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers as the 12 personnel. Sincere Clark in motion, going to crack. Did not get a great block, but Gardner Jr. fights through the line for about 5 yards.
Boy, Gardner Jr., he wastes no time. He doesn't do a lot of dancing back there. He just hits the hole, sees it on the right side of the offensive line, and now second and really manageable for Savannah State.
And Nick Trist right here, the offensive coordinator for Savannah State. You win on first down, and makes your job a lot easier on second down. Shotgun for Christian Burke. There he is. Quick read, and he is blindsided. There's a fumble on the play, and it does look like Edward Waters was able to fall on top of it yet again. I did not see who came away with the football. Was that number 30?
I tell you
O'Neal
what,
Webb.
a blindside hit. Burks had no clue it was coming. Another fumble and another turnover. There's the hit right there. Good job. And then they scoop it up and hold on to it. As you see Harris come up with a football. Lamar Harris, the sophomore from Amite High School in southeastern Louisiana.
Chase Quarterman, the freshman, put the hit on Burks to force that one clean, out, and recovered. And we have had 1, 2, 3, 4 turnovers in our first quarter here. Quick snap, quick pitch and catch from Bowden to Mekhi Lovett. First time we've called his name, senior out of Miami, Florida.
A big-time, big play dynamic receiver, second team all SIAC. And now they find him in the offense.
Here's a look at the fumble again.
So, good start there on first
That's
down
the end
for Edward
of the
Waters.
first quarter.
There goes our first quarter, Todd. End of it, 21-14 here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium.
Fireworks, JJ. Look at it. One touchdown after another and one turnover after another. And that's why we have a 21-14 game at the end of one.
We're back here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium. J.J. Jurjevic alongside Todd Quarter. 5th turnover of the first quarter to end it. It's only fitting.
5 turnovers, 4 fumbles, an interception. We've had a defensive touchdown. We've had a special teams touchdown. We've had nothing but fireworks in the first quarter. The second quarter is just as exciting. We're in for one whale of a game.
Noah Bowden gets the signals from the side.
We thought Boney was going to start this game. We were fooled. They had Boney on the first team depth chart.
Jatarius Thomas with a quick pickup of the first down to start the second quarter here. You're ahead of the chains here. First down, about the 30-yard line and in. And, well, when you start a drive like that in plus territory, it's exactly what you want. Looks like we have a timeout here.
Looks like an official's timeout. JJ, that was the best push from the Edward Waters offensive line on a run play. As you see, Thomas is kind of like Gardner. He doesn't really dance around. He just gets it and goes. Hard charger, good runner. Finds his hole and does not hesitate. As the officials here are coming to the sideline to have a word with head coach Aaron Kelton of Savannah State.
Chloe Richards talking to Bowden back there. There's a big discussion.
And there's Brian Jenkins right there. He's wanting to move it.
I think it's a clock issue, I would assume. I think we have a play clock out in one of the end zones, it looks like.
You know, Edward Waters, when you look at them offense and defensively, they go no huddle on offense and then the pressure defense. And you saw the pressure defense on the blind side hit there on Burks on the last turnover. So that's exactly what Aaron Kelton was telling us in the meeting when we spoke to him over the phone during the week. He was afraid the no huddle offense would give them problems, and also they needed to pick up the pressure defense from the backside.
Your blind side blocks are one of the highest paid positions at the next level for a reason, folks. Bowden in the shotgun, RPO, crossing route over the center of the field. That is caught by Malik Lovett, the big 6'1" wide receiver out of Miami.
Watch this. He just gets his paw right on the football there, the fake to Thomas. And nice catch by Lovett. He was able to just get his paw, stretch, pull it back in before he was tackled. Good play by Lovett.
Absolutely. Way to use his hands there and not let the ball get to the body. Bowden again in a shotgun. Sends a man in motion. On the jet sweep, it's nice. Fighting for extra yardage. Won't go down. Stays up. That's 88. Antonio Russell, 5'10", 175 pounds.
He's a transfer from Central State, and I love it. The play there, the play call, it wasn't a jet sweep. He was able to toss the football out to him in the flat after the fake. And now it's good for first and goal.
Excuse me.
For Edward Waters, and now they have a chance to go up 2 scores.
Thank you. Jet motion is what I was meaning there, listeners. Thomas in the backfield with Bodden, first and goal. Quick pitch out to the left side. Tough fought. Host of Savannah State Tigers bring him down. Not a whole lot to gain there. Bring up second and goal for Edward Waters. Bowden's looking to the sideline here, getting the signal. Sets up his offense, 3 wide receivers to the near side. Offset back to his left, that's Thomas. Looking for Thomas right out the flat. Nice pitch and catch, but great defense there by Savannah State. Number 22, Darren Bell, came in from Louisville 2 years ago, and that looked like a Louisville-type play moving left and right.
And Bell wasn't fooled, but this no huddle is giving Savannah State fits defensively. It doesn't give them time to change personnel.
Yeah, no substitution with the new rules, and Looking to James Brown. 3rd down and goal here. Power formation with the 2 backs. Emmanuel Bynum's back there. Thomas gets the carry. And he is bottled up and met by another host of Savannah State Tigers in all blue jerseys. Looks like the field goal unit is trotting out. The angle on this one will be tough.
Good pursuit, good job. Nice tackle there by Savannah State by Jaden Turner. And now they'll have a field goal attempt. And we talked about field goals being critical. You got to make them, especially when they're from a short distance.
Good snap, good hold. Looks like the kick goes through. It is. So Gagne with 3 points added on. 24-14, Savannah State trails.
Take your education to the next level with 2 graduate degrees at Edward Waters University for the fall 2024 semester. Reach the highest levels of leadership in today's business world with our Master of Business Administration, and our Master of Arts in Education Policy and Advocacy will prepare you to be an education administrative professional. Visit ew.edu to enroll today. Edward Waters University, emerging eminence.
In communities where leaders are forged and legacies are born, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference proudly celebrates the accomplishments of current and former students. From the playing field to the boardroom, they are the next generation of entrepreneurs, doctors, and executives.
Leaders rise here. Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
Brighter futures begin here with students and faculty that bring campus projects to life with help from the Home Depot Retool Your School grants. With these grants, HBCUs have built innovative learning lounges, revitalized rec areas, and created peaceful wellness spaces, providing students with areas to learn, relax, and thrive. Through their dedication to uplifting their campuses, HBCUs are growing stronger, one grant at a time, one project at a time, one community at a time. Learn more at retoolyourschool.com. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
11:08 in the second quarter, 24-14. Edward Waters leads the other Tigers after a wild and wacky first quarter, which included 5 turnovers. Here we are, a good kick to start the season. Special teams is so big. Edward Waters 9 of 15 on field goals last year.
Right, and the SIC as a whole needs to improve on its field goal kicking as a conference, and that's something we talked about in the pregame, that the field goal kicking must get better for some of these teams.
Gagne puts toe to leather, and Hampton will receive it at the 9-yard line. He's got a seam. Not a whole lot close fast. And 38 on Edward Waters as Matthew Draper makes the play out of Powder Springs, Georgia, and McEachern High School.
He's a transfer from Benedict College. Good tackle. Boy, I tell you what, it was 14-0 at one time, Savannah State. And Edward Waters has 24 consecutive points. And they've gotten them from every which way you can get them. A kickoff return, a defensive touchdown, a big offensive play, an interception to set up a score. So they have really used all 3 facets of their game, offense, defense, and special teams, to have this 10-point lead. And we'll see if Savannah State can answer here.
Burke sends. It's an incomplete pass to Zaire Williams. Send him in motion, the running back out of the backfield. trying to get these flat routes involved early, get the quarterback some confidence, and get Savannah State going again.
Well, Williams just couldn't hang on to the football. He looked upfield before he had it. And you know what? It was almost another interception because it was on his mitt in his paws for a while, and he wasn't able to hang on to it. He just had a hard time corralling it. It could have been another turnover. And now it's 2nd and long again for Savannah State.
Darius Vaughn at the near side. Christian Burke waiting for the snap. Sends Vaughn in motion. Looking to crack the linebacker. Big block by the wide receiver Vaughn. Opens up a little bit more of that play for Hampton to get through there. 2nd down and about 5.5, 6 yards to go.
Again, good push on that left side of the offensive line. That's where Savannah State favors to run the football.
Excuse me, 3rd down.
Yep, 3rd and short. 3rd and about, 4.5 or 5. Yep, 3rd and 5, so look for the pressure coming for Edward Waters.
2 to your near side, Hampton in the backfield. Christian receives the snap. A zone read on 3rd down, tried to draw the defense downfield with the little draw. It's going to bring up a 4th and short. Todd, you go for it in this situation or not this early in the game?
Let's take a look at the replay first and see how short he is. Good run by Hampton, churning his legs, and it's really close. Look, you're down 10. I know you need a yard, but if you don't get it, your defense hasn't been able to stop Edward Waters. I would punt the football here, play some field position, and see if you can turn Edward Waters over.
And that's what they're doing at Lucas Edenfield, 180-pound freshman out of Tallahassee, Florida. And Coach told us he's a real game changer in field position. He's got a leg. There's a good boot there. Bad bounce for Savannah State right at the 40-yard line. 24-14, Edward Waters on top of Savannah State. Nine minutes, 14 seconds remain in the second quarter here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium. Edward Waters just took over after a punt on on their own 40-yard line. Bowden barking signals out. Sets his offensive line gets the protections in. Here comes the snap. Hand off to Thomas. Great play. Stuffed in the backfield by 44, Will Jones, the defensive lineman out of Darlin, Georgia.
Great job by William Jones, 6'1", 235-pound senior, and Thomas had no chance. He corralled him, drove him right to the ground, and it's 2nd and long.
Shotgun formation. Good pressure by Savannah State up the middle from yet again Will Jones, causing that ball to fall to the ground.
Tried to get it to John Terrius Thomas. That play was a mess from Jump Street. Thomas had no chance to catch a football. He had no chance to set up because of the Savannah State pressure up the middle. And this is a big play defensively. If you're Savannah State down 10, 8:40 to go in the first half, you need the football back desperately.
Snap to Bowden. Lets it rip quickly. Got some separation, and just off the outstretched hand of Makai Lovett, the big wide receiver. Couldn't hold on to that one as he did earlier on.
And good coverage here by Savannah State on this play. I mean, that was as good as you could get coverage-wise by Amari Napier, but it would have been an excellent catch by Lovett. He just wasn't able to hang on to it. But that coverage, JJ, was excellent. And now a chance for Savannah State to get the football back.
Penalty decline. It will be 4th down. Bowden staying on the field. This is a surprise to me. I'm surprised they're going for it on 4th and 10, but it looks like the offense is staying out there at the current moment.
Now they're going to punt it.
They'll probably do a quick pooch punt.
Edward Waters. There's a second timeout.
They took a timeout here.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Want to make sure they get their special teams unit.
We'll take the timeout with them. 24-14. 4th and 10 coming up next.
Prices are up everywhere, and they're only getting higher, making things harder. So Georgia Power is doing something about it, because you could use some relief. We're freezing our base rates for the next 3 years, so you can count on a stable, predictable budget for your home or business. With the cost of living on the rise, our 3-year rate freeze is one thing you can depend on, delivering the service that Georgia Power is known for. We're here for Georgia, and we're here for you.
Brighter futures begin here with students and faculty that bring campus projects to life with help from the Home Depot Retool Your School grants. With these grants, HBCUs have built innovative learning lounges, revitalized rec areas, and created peaceful wellness spaces, providing students with areas to learn, relax, and thrive. Through their dedication to uplifting their campuses, HBCUs are growing stronger, one grant at a time, one project at a time, one community at a time. Learn more at retoolyourschool.com. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
In communities where leaders are forged and legacies are born, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference proudly celebrates the accomplishments of current and former students. From the playing field to the boardroom, they are the next generation of entrepreneurs, doctors, and executives.
Leaders rise here. Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
And Edward Waters, 8 rushing attempts, negative 14 yards on the day so far. Complete opposite from the 2024 campaign. They are bringing out the punt unit. Todd, completely different from last year's offense.
No doubt about it. You look at Edward Waters, they've been able to move the football. They have 9 first downs, and Savannah State only has 2 so far.
A high booming punt by Gagne. Looks like a fair catch. Caught at the 25-yard line for the Savannah State Tigers. Well, this drive will start out.
JJ, Savannah State was down to Edward Waters a year ago, 17-7, and came back and won, and they're down 10 now. They led this thing 14-0 and 24 straight points for Edward Waters, and that's where we're at. Turnovers have been huge. A year ago, there was only 1 turnover in the game, and now we've had 5. 4 fumbles and an interception, and a action-filled first quarter. The second quarter, it's calmed down a lot.
I think a lot to do with early season, a little wet outside, a little jittery as well. Christian Burke receives the snap, quick throw, quick catch on the outside by Clark. Nice little out route there to win the down on first down. First and second down and about 7 yards to go, a little long 7 yards.
Good job by Law in the secondary. As soon as he caught the football, he tackled him immediately. And what, 2nd and 6, so a gain of 4 on the play. And look, if you're Savannah State, you'll take 4 yards on first down all day long.
All day long. 3-3-4 is what my high school football coach always said. Cecil Flo, if you're watching, thanks for all you did for Parkview High School, baby. Shotgun formation, Christian Burks hands it off up the middle. Good read there to hand it off. He had a hole. It just closed quickly. Hampton couldn't get much going.
Boy, they just got Hampton's shoelace on that to slow him down, or it might have been a big gain.
3rd down and a long 4. This game is really slowed down starting at the start of the second quarter here. 7-11. Winding down.
You're Savannah State. It's one of those gotta-have-it moments in this game. You're down by 10. You need to move the chains and get a first down and keep your defense off the field.
Hampton goes in motion. And there's the big play right there. Physical run through the line. The motion freed it up. Good zone read. Good scheme. Good zone blocking. And Hampton right through the middle.
Run by Hampton. They try the right side of the offensive line here. He isn't touched until David Law brings him down.
Ooh, and a fumble on the play yet again. Busted up in the backfield. And that is yet another turnover. It'll be Edward Waters football. And my goodness, yet another fumble for these Tigers of Savannah State.
That was a big play defensively there for Edward Waters to get the turnover after Savannah State just got the first down. Right there, busted it up. An excellent play there by James Walton Jr. He's the one that caused that turnover, and Hampton wasn't able to hang on to it. And now great field position for Edward Waters in Savannah State territory.
Heads up play by Walton Jr. to wrap up and not get a targeting or anything in that situation.
That was a textbook tackle.
Bowden steps up in the pocket and launches it. He has a guy deep, and it is lofted and it is caught. That is a 47-yard touchdown pass from Bowden to number 19, Aiden Showers, who has had a wonderful day today. What a play.
It's not raining right now outside, but it sure is showers on the Savannah State defense. It's raining on them for sure. The Showers just burned the secondary again. All day to throw and wide open for the touchdown. They were late in the secondary getting to them. As you saw, Kevin Stokes Jr. was just too late, and that is too easy.
Good snap, good hold, good kick by Gagne, and this game has gone from 14-0 to 31 unanswered points by the Edward Waters Tigers. It is now 31-14. What a different ball game this was just about 8 minutes of game clock ago.
Aiden Showers, 6'3", 185-pounder, and right now he's been not only been Showers against Savannah State, but he's been a massive thunderstorm I mean, big play after big play, and you see the latest big play here, wide open down the seam of the defense for another Edward Waters touchdown. And Showers, the sophomore, East Bay High School, and you can see he is all smiles on the bench. Even put his finger up against his mouth and said, hey, I'll let my play do the talking. I don't need to talk. I'm not only walking the walk, but I'm talking the talk.
Great throw by Bowden, 6'4", 220-pound senior out of Valley Stream, New York, in Southern University.
J.J. Bowden had all day to throw the football. I mean, all day.
He really did. Great job by that coveted offensive line for Edward Waters, giving their quarterback time to lay it in there. And Showers made the play. Gagne with the kick. Hampton fields it around the 5-yard line, cuts it back over to the left side of the field. He's up just shy of the 20-yard line, to where Savannah State will take over.
Just good pursuit on that play by Draper and his partner Figs on special teams for Edward Waters. And Savannah State got a long way to go. Going to have to go 80 yards for a touchdown in this drive. And they're down by 17. We mentioned it. They were down 10 in the third quarter a year ago. This is even a bigger deficit.
Todd, what do you do here? You got to get your quarterback a little bit of confidence. You got to do something going into the half here.
I'm surprised Savannah State has not gotten Jaden Adams more involved offensively. We talked about in the pregame, he's like a Cordell Stewart.
Burks gets sacked in the backfield after trying to extend the play. That is number 33, the man himself, Lamar Harris, the linebacker, 6'3", out of Louisiana, in southeastern Louisiana. What a play.
Just no chance for Burks trying to set up. He stepped up, and then he met Harris, and that's all she wrote. And now it's 2nd and long for Savannah State. This game is getting bleaker for them by the minute.
It's getting late right now. This is a 2nd and nearly 20 yards. You need something here to make it 3rd and manageable. You're going to have to throw the ball here. This is territory for another sack. It's thrown and caught over the middle by Jordan Springs, the tight end out of South Carolina. Minimal gain. Great defense by Edward Waters to keep that under containment.
As soon as he caught the football, several Edward Waters players dropped him right to the turf. No chance. Good job there. Hanging on was O'Neal Webb, waiting for the rest of his friends.
See David Garner Jr. there. Springs tried to slow down to let Garner get in front of him for a lead blocker, just couldn't do it there.
Boy, I tell you what, Edward Waters right now, they can smell it.
Works another quick pass to Jaden Adams there on 3rd and long. That's not going to get anywhere near the first down. Gain of about 7 yards. It will bring up a 4th and 10. And
it was a beautiful tackle, JJ, there by Duwan Grant. An open field tackle and no chance for Adams. They set him down immediately to the turf, and now they've got to punt it away.
Here comes Lucas Edenfield again. 97.
And Coach talked about it in our meeting with him earlier this week on the phone, and is so impressed with him. As a punter,
there's the punt. Fielded off a bounce. Great job, great athleticism there to field that off the bounce by Torrey Morrison, get the speed going. I thought we could have saw something explosive there. But credit Savannah State for staying in their special team lines. 31-14, 3 minutes, 40 seconds left here in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for Edward Waters, right near their 40-yard line, plus 40-yard line. Another drive starting in opponent territory.
And that was great awareness by Morrison. He didn't see a Savannah State player near him, So he picked up the football, and he gives Edward Waters excellent field position and plenty of time to get another touchdown before the half. And I tell you what, you're talking about Brian Jenkins. This is his head coaching debut here for Edward Waters. He was an assistant coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterbacks coach, been here since 2021. And now what a debut he's having. Well, I'll tell you what, they keep playing like this, they'll remove the intern tag very quickly.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Bowden didn't get the signal off. Back him up 5 yards. That'll help Savannah State. You got Pauk and Thomas in the backfield.
I've been impressed with Bowden. He has played very well.
Triple option type play there. Gains of 5 yards to Pauk. Now that's a creative play call. Paul Johnson would be happy with that one.
Boy, Pauk got a few on the play. It looks like it'll be second and
12 yards, it looks like.
Right, he got about, 3 or 4 on the play. So, got some of it back. You don't have to have all of it back on first down. That would be nice.
Jackson out wide.
Great run by Thomas there, JJ.
It was very physical, goes to the left, just follows his offensive line. It's a great zone blocking scheme you'll see here.
There's just no hesitation at all. He hits the hole and bounces back out. And good play and a nice tackle there by Savannah State's Darian Bell, or he would have got more.
Darian Bell did a good job of getting him to the sidelines there without having to make the play.
You saw there was nothing. One bounce to the outside, took what he could get.
It's a play action pass. Great accuracy there over the middle, but wasn't able to bring it in. Great defense there by
Napper. Napper's the one that broke it up, JJ.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And now it'll be 4th down, and I'm betting Edward Waters is going for it here. 4th and 3?
They smell blood in the water, pun intended, and here we go, trying to just drive it in and put a dagger early on in this game in Savannah State in this rivalry.
Let's see if they don't fake the run and roll the quarterback out.
I think they're going to try and draw him off sides here, it looks like. I don't think they're going to snap this ball.
3 on the clock. Look, maybe they're not going to snap it.
There it is, the timeout.
They took a timeout before
by Jenkins on the sideline, yes.
Maybe they're going to discuss it and take their time, or they're going to punt it.
5-yard penalty.
No.
4th down.
They took the delay game to give them a little bit more room on the punt.
Well, that's it. Yes, we do. Let's see here. I wonder again if they're going to punt it. We'll see coming up.
Defensive turnovers here, as you see. The scoop up by Kirk Smith there. The high snap was not able to fall on it. There's Chino Woa falling on it. Here's the other fumble and the scoop and score. The 50-yarder and an impressive tightrope on the sideline there. And here you see the interception by 22. An athletic play on that. Another fumble. This will be going on for a couple seconds, folks, as there's been quite a few turnovers in this game. So here we are. We're back. 31-14, 2:29 left in the second quarter.
That's their final.
See, they called timeout. There wasn't a penalty on the play, so they called timeout right before the play clock expired. Let's see what they do here, if they punt it or go for it, but we'll see. It should be 4th.
If you do go for it, Ty, what kind of play are you running here?
If you're running some type of misdirection where you fake the handoff and you put the quarterback out and get him to run it. We'll see, but I believe they're going to punt it here instead, and that's the safe thing to do. I mean, why do you want to risk giving Savannah State good field position when you're up 17 points? You got to punt it.
Got to punt it.
If it had been 4th and 3 instead of 4th and 8, then you would have had a bigger decision.
I think you're right about that. Here comes Gagne.
Is he going to fake it?
Rugby-style punt here, letting the defenders get down there. Try and get them inside the 20. Good bounce for Gagne right down at the 15-yard line. Pretty good punt in the situation. Burned a couple seconds. Approaching the 2-minute warning here. It's 31-14 yet again.
Savannah State failed to pressure the punter there. He had all day long to pooch kick it and get it down. And a good punt, a great result. And Savannah State's got 85 yards to go, but why aren't you pressuring that punter? I mean, there was absolutely zero pressure on him. Maybe they thought he was going to fake it at first, which caused them to hesitate.
I think that what they were doing is trying to set up a return there, being down 17 points in this game, and they weren't worrying about pressuring the punter. Burks in the shotgun, takes the snap. Little high throw over Hampton, who actually had a little bit of room there, but a high throw ruins the play before it began.
No chance here for Hampton to catch this at all. I mean, it's a good thing it wasn't potentially tipped and intercepted. It could have been a total disaster, and now 2nd and 10 and 2 and 8 to go in the half, and you're down 17. You've got to get positive yards here. You're not going to get it all back on one play. You got to take it in bits and pieces and try to get first downs and establish a drive. If you get it within 10 before the end of the half, you're right in the football game.
Right back in it. Play action on the end around there, to Joe Hampton. Burks tried to fake the defense out with a...
This is the 2-minute timeout.
James Walton Company, they were not fooled on that.
31-14. Tigers over the Tigers.
Put 2 minutes. Nobody.
Look out for Edward Waters. They look pretty good right now. How many turnovers does Savannah State have? How many do they have?
1.
Savannah State has more than that.
3, 4.
And Edward Waters has 1. What does the stats sheet say on your computer?
Edward Waters has 2.
So it's 3 turnovers to 2?
Total. Yep.
6 total, right?
6 total.
So 4 to 2. Is that right?
Correct. 3 fumbles lost.
Oh, my gosh. So 4 turnovers for Savannah State, 2 for Edward Waters. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Neither team has been able to really... Savannah State was able to run the football at the beginning of the game. And not since.
Wrong. That interception's over here. Savannah State threw the pick.
I think.
We're back at Theodore A. Wright Stadium here in historic Savannah, Georgia, where Savannah State's backed up, 3rd and long, inside their own 15-yard line here. Todd, got to get a first down on this one, extend this drive, and figure out a way to get to halftime.
Boy, if Edward Waters gets the football back, they're going to have a chance to go up even more because they're going to get good field position.
There's a good rollout, a good pitch and catch. Complete to Braylon Fowler. And that will get a first down, and it's exactly what you needed for Savannah State.
Good patience by Burks Good play by Braylon Fowler to get the first down. And that play was huge for Savannah State because they did not want to give Edward Waters the football back with 1:30 left in the half and down by 17.
Not at all. Burks with another quick throw and catch over on the sideline. Couldn't quite catch that number.
They're going to have to hurry up. 2 timeouts remaining, 1:12 to go.
Sincere Clark on the reception, about a 6-yarder.
You got to call a couple of plays at a time in the huddle, or in this case, no huddle.
Red offense here. Now he's rolling to his right. This isn't good. Did he get it past the line of scrimmage? Looks like he did. I don't see a flag yet for intentional grounding.
Savannah State got away. They got away with a false start there. One of the linemen moved early, and they didn't call it.
Thought I saw the same thing, Todd, not to jump on you there.
No, it's fine.
Good observation. And here we are again. It's a third down. After a big first down on the last third down, here you need another big play.
We do have a flag on the play now.
It might be that intentional grounding, as I was mentioning.
I don't think there was a receiver near there.
It didn't look like it to me, and that's what they're discussing. Yeah, you could see Coach Kelton does not look happy.
Yep,
there it is. I kind of thought so. It said it. He was pressured. He was outside of the pocket, and here's a look.
Right here. Nobody is there. The closest person is an Edward Waters player, and that was Trevor French, the linebacker.
Okay, this foul qualifies for a 10-second runoff. Please set the game clock to 47 seconds. 47 seconds.
Boy, you're Savannah State.
On my signal.
JJ, you'd rather taken the false start penalty.
Yeah, you would have taken anything other than that. Now you're third down and long. You lose the down on the intentional grounding. You're back inside your 15. And it's literally similar to the third down you converted about 3 plays ago. So here we go.
And now you got to be careful you don't turn the football over because you've turned it over already 4 times.
Yeah, Adams on a jet motion. They hand it to Hampton up the middle. Safe play call there. They're going to probably take this one into half. Let's see if they even run another play. Edward Waters is out of timeout, so I think this will be the last play of the half. I don't see why Savannah State would snap the football with the amount of turnovers that have taken place in this first half. That's what they're doing. They are going to take it to the sidelines. That'll be your first half score. It'll be 31 for Edward Waters, 14 for Savannah State, and those 31 points are unanswered. And we're going to break here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium in Savannah, Georgia. What an incredible first half by both of these Tigers teams. 4 turnovers by Savannah State, 2 by Edward Waters is the determining factor of this half so far, special teams included. Todd, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, Savannah State, they were up 14-0. Edward Waters showed up late. We talked about the team that would show up late in the pregame. It was Edward Waters, but you know what? It didn't matter to them. They just went ahead and scored 31 consecutive points, and that's where we are right now, the 31-14 lead. They've done it. Big plays on offense, big plays on defense, and big plays in the special teams department, and that's why they're up 17. A year ago, Savannah State was down 17-7 in the third quarter. Let's see if they can get that magic back.
And here we'll see the turnover package yet again, and it will be a doozy. Starting off with the crossover in the middle, and Kirk Smith picks it up. The high snap early in the game where Sheena Woa falls on it, gets hurt. Here is another, the scoop and score and the tightrope on the sideline. Another athletic play on that. And here's the interception, the way to two-tap on the sideline. There's the big hit, forced fumble, and here's the last one. And here we are. The turnovers again are the difference. A 90-yard kickoff return, difference. Edward Waters not running the football very well, but still up big in this game, Todd.
The 3 keys that I mentioned at the start of this game, they've all became true. They really have. Each team has struggled to run the football. Savannah State did run the football very well. They got up 14 points at the left side of that offensive line. Did really well. And after that, the running game disappeared. Now, the other things, the turnovers in the special teams, well, Edward Waters took over in those 2 departments, and then their offense got going, and that's why they're up by 17, and they're sitting pretty right now.
It's a big weekend in the SIAC. As we mentioned pre-kick, as far north as Cambridge, Massachusetts, SIAC teams are playing. Detroit, Canton, Ohio, along with those 3 northern states. Games will be played in Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, right here in Georgia, and Alabama. So big weekend for HBCU football in the Division II Conference of the SIAC.
All right. So he'll go over the stats. You'll do that, and I'll talk about what a difference a year makes. How's that?
Sounds good.
Yeah, stats are on the monitor. Yep. Yeah, you'll have everything.
Yes, it looks great.
But see, I'll be able to talk about both those from a year ago, how the script has been flipped for each team, actually. Big plays.
(31-14), Edward Waters on top of Savannah State here at halftime. The opening SIAC game of the weekend. Todd, again, we mentioned Edward Waters hasn't been able to run the football. They're still up by a lot. They're getting it done through the air. Savannah State's shooting themselves in the foot with some penalties. You see Savannah State's leading the time of possession battle, but nothing really to show for it.
Well, we're going to show the statistics here in a moment, and it's the opposite of a year ago. As you'll see the highlights here, full of big plays by the defenses. And there's a big run there by Hampton to get Savannah State going.
The 30-yard scamper here. Here's the 12-yard scamper by Gardner Jr. That led it. Now you're going to see 31 unanswered points by Edward Waters, starting with this 90-yard kickoff return by Kieran Jackson, where he tight ropes the sidelines yet again. And these highlights were electric. Here's a throw, strip, and here's David Lawmore timer, who tight ropes the sideline all the way into the end zone for the 6. Bodden with a nice throw here to Showers, who's had a wonderful first half. Bowden again here deep. Showers again for the 40-plus yard touchdown pass there. And you're looking at the stats on your screen, and most of the time, again, you see that negative 2 yards rushing, and it's that lopsided 50 yards difference between these two teams. Usually the scoreboard's different.
Well, look, I mean, a year ago, Edward Waters ran for over 200. Savannah State threw for over 200. Savannah State only has, they have 55 passing yards, which is way behind a year ago. The rushing total's actually at 48, which is about what they did a year ago if they do 48 again in the second half. But they're going to have big plays to get back into this thing, and the penalties have really shot Savannah State in the foot. They have 7 of them for 72 yards. Edward Waters has 4 for 25. But this first half has been all about the turnovers and all about the big plays. And Showers, the receiver for Edward Waters, has rained on Savannah State's parade. He has 2 touchdowns here in the first half. And I'll tell you what, Bodden, he reminds me of Mike Vick, how he throws that little flick of the bick there with a little sidearm when he throws the football. His arm angle changes. Yeah, he reminds me of Michael Vick, and he's making big plays like Michael Vick for Edward Waters, and that's the reason why they've scored 31 consecutive points and the reason why they're up 17. The time of possession means nothing to me here. The yards per play means nothing to me. It's the penalties, the turnovers, and the special teams have decided this game, and that's exactly what we spoke about in the pregame.
100%. Coach Kelton told us before he wants to run for 120 to 150 yards a game, and that'll get you back in the ballgame.
Are played at all? I mean, he had 9 tackles a year ago. We called Theodore A.
What's he saying? What'd he say?
I'm going to come back in with the score. I'm going to introduce us and basically go from there.
Okay. Well, I tell you, Edward Waters, they've picked up where they left off. They've won their last 2. They defeated Allen at the end of the year. I did that game. That was at Edward Waters. That was hotter than blazes, by the way, and we were outdoors. You know what? We were on camera at the beginning, and the guy goes, "It's just too hot. Get out of the clothes." I mean, dude, we were drenching, and I had just had my ablation about 10 days before that. So I get out there, and I said, "Please, God, show me a rainstorm. Bring me a rainstorm and cool this off." Not 5 minutes into the first quarter, it started raining cats and dogs, and we were cool the rest of the game. And my play-by-play goes, "Do you have any more control? Can you get us done in 2 hours?" I said, "No." Showers is... It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We can do that easy. Yeah, well, you got to turn around now, huh? Don't worry about it, JJ. We'll just talk. I mean, Savannah State's got to turn them over. I mean, it's that simple. Check that drone out. Yeah. Oh, stay with the drone. Oh, man.
We're back. Theodore A. Wright Stadium here in historic Savannah, Georgia. I'm JJ Jurjevich alongside Todd Corder. 10 first downs for the Edward Waters Tigers. Again, moving the ball through the air. They're averaging just over 13 yards a catch. So Bowden's doing a good job being accurate with the football. And ball security is going to be the issue for Savannah State. Can they hold on to the football? Can they get back into this game?
Ball security's been the whole issue of the whole first half. 6 turnovers. And look, Savannah State, they're not going to get 17 points all at once. You're going to have to take it play by play, drive by drive, see if you can get some big plays on offense, move the chains, get some first downs, let your defense go to work, see if you can turn Edward Waters over. There's plenty of time. This game is far from over. And you know what? Edward Waters, they're on a roll right now. They won their last 2 games of the season, and they have taken off where they left off a year ago, and they're playing well.
31-14. We'll be back. Theodore A. Wright Stadium momentarily.
Look at that drone flying just like Edward Waters. I thought you were going to mention the drone. I'm like, I'll do it.
Taking the jacket off.
The drone is flying like Edward Waters. So now we don't come back until the other game. Good, I can eat. I'm starving. What time is it?
We got like 4 minutes.
I got enough time to eat.
2.5
That
actually.
drone,
2.5 till
that
kick.
drone's flying like Edward Waters' offense. What did you say?
2.5 minutes till kick.
I want to eat this now. Is that what he said? 2.5 minutes?
That's what the clock says.
No, I ain't seen that.
Yeah. I've been saying both. I'm just going to stay with it. I know. I just messed up. Rookie mistake. It's Bowden. It's Bowden.
.44 seconds. Let's go. Battery right there. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's
'We're back here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium, again in historic Savannah, Georgia. 31-14, the Edward Waters Tigers over the Savannah State Tigers. The theme has been explosive plays from special teams, blowing up the offense, recovering fumbles. It's been a fun one here, as you see Aaron Kelton and Brian Jenkins commanding their forces going into the second half of this SIAC battle. Hot and humid here in Savannah, Georgia. Rainstorms all day. It's cooled off very well in the nighttime. Now we're set for Gagne's kick to begin the second half. And the kick be received by Hampton at the 5-yard line. He'll run over his own guy. He says, doesn't bother me. I'm trying to get those yards. We'll start off at the 30-yard line for Savannah State.
You're Savannah State. You need points on this drive. I mean, we can't overstate it enough. You're down 17, but what you need to do is take it one play at a time. And Christian Burt, 6-foot, 185-pounder, he'll be out there to start the second half. He started the game. He's gone the whole way for Savannah State.
I think in this situation, Todd, it's about running the football, getting a possession into the end zone where it ends with the kick, whatever that is, whether it's a field goal, whether it's an extra point. You got to get some points on the board, get this to a 2-possession ball game and chip away here.
Big plays and balance on offense.
David Gardner Jr., I guess Coach Kelton heard me trying to run the ball, and they've averaged over 3 yards a carry in that contest, and it's David Gardner Jr. on the carry.
Robert Lewis and company on the tackle, and it was a gain of only 2, so second and long, and that's not where you want to be if you're Savannah State. You've got to at least get 3 or 4 yards on first down because, look, Edward Waters, they know you're going to throw the ball. They're going to pin their ears back and come after the quarterback.
Yeah, you want to try and get Justin James leverage and get behind him in this run game, the big number 77.
The leg game. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And you can't have that. You cannot have a delay a game. It was 2nd and 8. Now it's 2nd and 13. That changes everything.
Absolutely everything. And we just mentioned it, 7 penalties in the first half. You've played 1 play, 1 down. You already have another in the second half.
Maybe they'll throw a screen here or something, a short pass, and instead they'll run it.
Another zone read there for David Gardner Jr. Tough physical run, got what he could, but Edward Waters played gap sound defense there.
It's just, look, great job, good pursuit by Edward Waters, and look, Great job. I mean, they held him to nothing, led by John Wesley Bentley, the defensive lineman from Thomaston, Georgia. Transfer from Butler Community College. There's a lot of great junior college football in college football in here in the United States. Just a lot of it.
And with the new rule, you get the eligibility back from junior college. There's a throw deep from Burks. Can't see if he got a foot down. I think the ball fell to the turf. Intended for Elijah Stevens, 5'8" wide receiver out of Ashburn, Georgia.
Back to the junior college conversation, if we can. There's a lot of kids that in junior college that can play not only at the Division II level, but they can play at the Division I level, and a lot of times it's their grades. That's why they start out in junior college. Or they try to refine their game at the junior college level, and when they're ready to come up to Division II or Division I, they shine.
Here's Edenfield back to punt, number 97. Gonna boot it deep. There's the leg we've heard about from Coach Kelton. Received around the 35-yard line, zigging and zagging is Edward Waters' Torrey Morrison, wide receiver out of Miami, Florida. Pretty good return there.
And also pretty good coverage by Savannah State, led by Christopher Murray.
Edward Waters has done a really good job of taking away Esquelin and Roundtree, these big interior linemen for Savannah State. They've kind of started to keep it away from them, run them away from them, get it over top of them. Those are two preseason All-SIAC guys that we haven't called much of their name today.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Bodden and company, I'm spreading out Savannah State, and I'm rolling them out, and I'm throwing it, and also I'm running a little misdirection.
Bowden with the play action, chucks it deep, and it was intended for John Baptiste, a 5'10" wide receiver, the senior.
Good coverage by Amari Napier. He's played pretty well so far in that secondary for Savannah State, and now it's second and long.
That's 2 or 3 pass breakups by my count for 6 on the Tigers.
I tell you what, Bodden has done a great job of directing this offense today.
There's another play action. Gets it out of his hand. Great job to get the play, to get the ball out with the pressure intended for
JJ. Great job here. Great job you just see on the replay. Excellent job there by Stowbridge, and that was a dangerous throw by Bodden. He had a little bit too much air on that. That could have been interception. It could have been a disaster as you see a flag on the play.
You see a discussion kind of in the lines of maybe illegal use of hands to the face or a personal foul, face mask area. Can't quite see which way they're going to mark.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Number 11 can stay in the game because of the helmet.
Another personal foul. That's a first down for Edward Waters, and that's penalty number 9, and you're approaching the 100-yard mark in penalties.
And not only that, your defense was stopping them, and now you make this foolish personal foul penalty to give Edward Waters a first down on the Savannah State 40-yard line. You had him stopped.
Bowden in the shotgun. Thomas with the handoff. Bottled up in the backfield. There he is, Xavier Esquelin, number 54, the preseason SIAC All-American for all of HBCU, folks.
Just an excellent tackle here by Esquelin. He read the play from Jump Street, and he just buried the ball carrier there. No chance at all.
The broadcaster jinx. I said I hadn't called his name. There it is.
Let's see if they can stop him here, Savannah State.
Second and long. Good throw and catch from Bodden to Showers, who's just adding on to his totals at this point. Brings up a third and manageable, Todd.
Yeah, Murray on the tackle. This is a huge play here for Savannah State. It's one of those gotta-have-a moments. You have to stop them here. And if it's 4th and short, Edward Waters will have a decision.
Bowden in the shotgun, 3 bunched up to your near side. Gets a read, throws to Showers on the outside. Great ball placement where nobody could get it, but 25, Murray on the defense.
That's 2 good defensive plays Murray made here. Here's the second one. He should have turned around and looked for the football, though. He would have had an interception.
I think if you're Brian Jenkins, you could be a little upset. He never got his head around. I'm surprised the pass interference flag didn't come out with his left hand grabbing him. But
I thought that was a perfect play by Murray. I don't think he did anything wrong. If he just turned around and looked for the football, he had an interception.
I agree. I just think it's surprising. You see so many officials call that penalty. It's Gagne with the punt, and it takes a Edward Waters bounce inside the 10 down to about the 6-yard line.
That's the second Gagne a punt inside the 15.
Since 1890, Savannah State University has prepared smart, bold students who make a difference and change their world. The results? They're making our waterways healthier, engineering better ways to work, telling the stories of our community, and creating better futures for the next generation. Seriously smart, seriously bold, seriously impressive. We are Savannah State University.
Brighter futures begin here with students and faculty that bring campus projects to life with help from the Home Depot Retool Your School grants. With these grants, HBCUs have built innovative learning lounges, revitalized rec areas, and created peaceful wellness spaces, providing students with areas to learn, relax, and thrive. Through their dedication to uplifting their campuses, HBCUs are growing stronger, one grant at a time, one project at a time, one community at a time. Learn more at retoolyourschool.com. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
In communities where leaders are forged and legacies are born, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference proudly celebrates the accomplishments of current and former students. From the playing field to the boardroom, they are the next generation of entrepreneurs, doctors, and executives.
Leaders rise here. Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
Great punt by Gagne, backs the Savannah State Tigers up to their own 8-yard line, 92 yards away from the goal line to get back into this I-95 rivalry. 11-11 left in the third quarter. Burks receives the snap on the design quarterback run. Excuse me, new quarterback in. That is Fabian Walker, the 6', 185 pound sophomore at Decatur, Georgia, and Chamblee High School.
Let's see if Walker gives Savannah State a spark here. At least positive gain on the first play. That's what you want. 5 yards to set up 2nd and 5. That opens up the playbook and can make you a little more versatile on offense.
Walker in the shotgun. Sends Stevens in motion. Excuse me, that's Springs in motion. Great recognition by the defense. That's number 2, Travis McNichols, blowing up the wide receiver stalk block, getting in there. Now we have a 3rd and long right here, right now for the Savannah State Tigers. Backed up in their own territory, Todd. This is becoming an important series.
Yeah, just an excellent tackle there on the screen. Great job by Travis McNichols, the senior from Miami. transfer from Appalachian State at the Division I level. Boy, App State, they've had some big wins in their history. They beat Michigan.
One of the greatest upsets in college football history. Walker with the spread formation. Sends Hampton in motion. Rolling to his right, gets the ball out. Short throw, hops it, incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th and long. Pressure brought there by Robert Lewis out of Jacksonville, Florida, the freshman.
Yeah, pass was intended for Clark, and it shows Austin Williams is at quarterback. There are 2 17s on our roster, Williams and Fabian Walker. So Austin Williams was the quarterback on that drive. We'll double check on that.
Yeah. Okay, so Austin Williams, check that. It is Austin Williams, 6'1", 185-pound redshirt senior out of Fayetteville, Georgia, Whitewater High School.
Williams wasn't even on the 2-deep depth chart this week.
And Edenfield puts a boot into it. Great catch there by Torrey Morrison in traffic, not getting phased by the Savannah State Tigers on their punt coverage.
He had the wherewithal to call a fair catch on the punt so he wouldn't get creamed when he touched the football. So, and guess what? Edward Waters, they're in great field position. And almost 6 minutes have gone in this third quarter. If you're Edward Waters, you'll take this score. You don't allow him to score anymore, you've won the football game.
Now you're just going to slow your offense down. If you do continue to, there's the run by Thomas, and they're going to try and bleed the clock. They're going to take that play clock all the way down as Thomas keeps fighting for yards here.
Excellent run by Thomas. And JJ, I don't change a thing if I'm Edward Waters. I run your offense. I run the hurry up. That's what got you the lead. You really don't need to slow it down if you're getting 5 yards on first down. See, they're going right back in no huddle. This will stress the defense because they don't have time to change personnel.
100%. Keep the gas and keep your foot on their jugular vein there. Another run by Thomas. Zone scheme there to the right side brings up a 3rd and manageable. But yeah, you can throw wide receiver screens in here. You can do easy long handoffs, if I like to call them. There's tons of variations you can do to keep this clock running, and that hurry up offense sometimes helps keep that clock moving and the momentum.
You see Thomas next to Bodden.
Another handoff to Thomas. On the scheme, he gets it outside, gets it wide for the first down inside the 30-yard line. Tackled there by Elite Booker on the play. 5'10" defensive back out of Brooklyn, New York.
Look at Thomas, follow his blocks. Patience here. Wait, bounce it outside some more, get another good block. And by the time they brought him down, it was a first down on the far sideline. And not only is this a first down, but it moves the clock.
Bodden gets the set. There's the pass right outside. First time we've called number 81 today, Davari Morris, wide receiver out of Lauderhill, Florida, in Coconut Creek High School.
Transfer from Kentucky Christian University. Look, you're out there. They will find you.
There's another RPO-type play right back to him. 29, Emmanuel Bynum on the run there. The freshman out of Miami, Florida. They're moving the chains, Todd. They're moving the clock. And if you're Coach Jenkins, this is exactly what you want. The clock moving. Get out of here injury-free.
And I'll tell you what, he's from Rise Prep Academy. A lot of good football players out of there. And Edward Waters has found one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Same play yet again. Zone scheme, easy blocking scheme. There's another 4 yards on first down. Now, Edward Waters not able to run the football in the first half. Here it is now.
Yeah, you know, it's sort of a counter, but it's sort of not. He kind of like waits and see where the defense is. Does he tuck it? Does he throw it? Or does he hand it off? So all that, and you come with that counter look where you're going to that far side of the field.
Pulling guard there, a great pitch and catch. That'll be first and goal for the Edward Waters Tigers. Caught there by Jadarius Patterson, the 5'10" freshman out of Atlantic Community High School.
Just a great read by Bodden. Was patient, got him right there in the flat and hit him.
And a nice and easy. Oh, I thought he was going to get in. Did he stay up? Nope, they're marking him down at the 1 yard line for Bynum. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 1 to goal.
I'll tell you what, Bynum's getting some carries in a critical time in the game, and a freshman, and that's a good run. Way to hold on to the football.
It looked like he stayed up to me.
Yeah, I think he was down, no question about it, but good run, way to protect the football, and now you have it on the 1 yard line. You're on the doorstep of scoring, 2nd and goal, and feed him again.
Bodden in the shotgun, Thomas to his left. They're just going to try and quick pitch it out there. Flags fly everywhere.
I don't like that play call at all. That just took too long, JJ. Why wouldn't you just hand it off up the middle when your offensive line is winning the line of scrimmage? Instead, you went for that option look.
It's because Savannah State was lined up off sides.
Legal substitution on the defense. More than 11 players
legal
in the formation. Half the distance to the goal, still 2nd down.
That might have been why that play was blown up. There was 12 men out there.
But still, it took too long to develop. Just hand it off, and it doesn't have to look pretty. I mean, your offensive line is winning the battle. You're wearing out Savannah State's D-line. Something like that, with that far to go, takes too long to develop. Just hand it to them and get over the goal line.
4:54 and running down here and plus territory. Savannah State played good goal line defense. It looks like Savannah State may have come up with that football here. That would be, let's see what the referees are saying.
Thomas said it was a touchdown.
We have a touchdown signal. We have a fumble signal from both teams. If we're up to the teams, we wouldn't know what's going on.
Bodden's like, wait a minute, my guy's got the football.
No call yet.
Paulk has the football. He said, it's my touchdown. Paulk has the football. It's got to be a touchdown for Edward Waters. As you can see, you can see the head coach there, Brian Jenkins, saying, hey, Paulk's got the football.
That's
what are we waiting on here?
Fumble recovery for a touchdown now. Yeah, and that's the 2nd of that variety in this game, if it is.
He's upset with Bodden on the play. I'm not sure why. But we're waiting for the official's decision. Let's see on the replay, JJ. Let's see if he...
Is that the runner progress was stopped. It'll be 3rd down.
Oh, so they blew the whistle.
They blew the whistle down. Progress stop was ruled on the field. You can't challenge that. So it'll be 3rd and goal to go for the Edward Waters Tigers.
Boy, I tell you what, you're Edward Waters. You want that call. I mean, that's what if you don't get the touchdown, that's the next best thing. No kidding. And you can see Jenkins giving one of the officials the business on the far sideline over there.
He thinks they got in.
Sure did. Boy, I tell you, Brian he's really been an insurmountable person in this program. He's been here since 2021. I mentioned earlier, assistant head coach, offense coordinator, QB coach, now the intern head coach. We mentioned he won 4 MEAC championships at Bethune-Cookman. He was 3 times the MEAC Coach of the Year, and he got him to the playoffs 3 times. He was also the head coach at Alabama State in the SWAC. He wasn't as successful there.
I was listening to see if we got some direction on there. Brian Jenkins led these Edward Waters.
Timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Okay, so
Edward Waters timeout there.
You know, you're Aaron Kelton. In 2022, you were 5-5. That's good start first year. 2023 you dipped. You went to 2-8. But last year you brought it back to 5-5. So this is a big year to try to get over the hump. But it just hasn't worked out for him today. And he's had some success. He won the New England Small College Athletic Conference in 2010.
And Edward Waters won their last 2 games of the year. So the momentum's carried over.
Right.
And I think we fell in the end zone. We did. I could not see who was under all that pile. Was it Bodden on the keeper?
Boy, Edward Waters now up 37-14. You'll see the replay. It is Bodden on the keeper. And look at his offensive line just winning the battle and wearing down the defensive line of Savannah State. And they can do whatever they want with it now. I mean, they ran the football very well on that drive, JJ.
They did, and we talked about that was what they couldn't do in the first half. It was now 38 unanswered for Edwards. 38-14 here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium in Savannah, Georgia. A 12-play, 45-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Bowden. Edward Waters is now up by 24 points. It's getting late early if you're Savannah State, unless you can change the dials on your offense and get back in it right here. You got to start throwing the football now.
Anybody can play 38-14. Let's see what Savannah State is made of down 38-14, and we'll see right now. They're going to get the football.
Gagne with a good kick, caught by Hampton at the 5. Gets out, gets another powerful run. He's had a really good job returning the football today. 32-yard lines where the Savannah Tigers will start this third quarter drive.
Hampton has been a bright spot for Savannah State, and I think Gardner has played well in spurts, and we'll see who's going to come out at quarterback for Savannah State. That'll be interesting. Let's see if they can get Jaden Adams the football. Yeah, it is, so it's going to be, I'm sitting here.
Austin Williams.
Yep,
again.
it'll be Austin Williams again, yep. So, yes, it is 17.
Giving them another chance to get this offense a spark.
Why not? I mean, you don't have anything else to lose. They might even go with Fabian Walker at some point, but two guys wearing the same number. I don't understand that.
I haven't seen it, but remember there were 7 quarterbacks competing for this starting job in preseason camp.
That's
Williams
right.
Steps up in the pocket, holds on to the football really well there, picks up a first down, and there's a little spark from Williams right off the bat.
You're right, and that was a beautiful play by Williams. Look at him here. Steps up, nobody's open, takes off, protects the football really well, spins away from a couple of defenders, and he gets the first down. Terrific play.
A little more up-tempo. Williams with a pitch and catch out to Clark on the outside, gets about 8 yards, and this is what you're going to have to do. Short and simple ways, get your quarterback confidence, get your offense some confidence, try and get some points on the board. before the end of the fourth quarter to see if you can't turn this thing around.
Well, Edward Waters are not going to allow any big plays. I mean, they're just not. They're going to guard against those, give you the dinks and dunks, and pressure the quarterback.
There's a swing route out to Stevens, who's wide open at the 20, cuts inside down to the 12-yard line. Great tackle there to save a touchdown by Braden Turner, the 5'11 defensive backs out of Made Creek High School.
Just when I mentioned they're not going to give you a big play, they get one, and there's a flag on the play, as you see the run there at the end of the play now. But this flag, I believe, is coming. It's coming back. It's going against Savannah State.
It's in the area of a block in the back, Todd. We'll see what that is.
Goodness, just when you get a big play, you make a colossal mistake.
Offense.
Holding.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
And that'll drive Aaron Kelton nuts.
Yeah, that's not what you want as a head coach. You're trying to get back in a game. You're trying to fight. And now you have more total penalty yards than almost your entire offensive production for the evening. So you got to get this thing going. You got to say, hey, big boys up front, let's get it done. Let's finish our blocks. Let's play to the whistle. And let's see if we can't come back and win this thing. You got Tadarius Vaughn on your near side along with Stevens. David Gardner in the back field along with Austin Williams again.
I like Williams so far, the Whitewater High School here in Georgia.
So redshirt senior drops back, surveying the field. Might have a little, nope, didn't get it. Thought he might have gotten the front of the face mask there and brought out of bounds for close to no gain on the play. Pretty good pursuit by Edward Waters there.
Not only was the pursuit good, but the coverage downfield was excellent, and the pressure from the front four caused Williams to get out of there and get what he could get, which was not a lot.
And Pierre forced that 3rd and long here, and here you go again. This could have been a first down. You could have had the explosive play inside the 15-yard line, but we're back near midfield in negative territory with the 3rd and 11. And there's not many play that will work in this situation. You got Clark and in the slot, Jamal Hill out wide. See if they can get a big play here. Williams drops back, receives the snap, gets a good ball over the middle to Stevens, but you got to help your quarterback out there. You got to go up and get that ball. Yeah, it's in traffic, but that's one you want back.
Boy, hopefully we can take a look at it. He threw it in traffic here, and he almost threw it for an interception. That would have been a tough catch there. That would have been a really tough catch by Stevens. But he threw that with 3 Edward Waters defenders there, and you've got a punt. You can't go for it here. I mean,
you have to make that throw. You have to at least try. You got to start forcing the issue here.
We're
getting late.
You don't want to force it where you turn it over, but I mean, it's better to punt than get an interception.
Any coach will say they'd like any drive to end in a kick. There's Eden Field with a high booming kick and a fair catch at the 15-yard line. 38-14 here at Theodore A. Wright Stadium.
In communities where leaders are forged and legacies are born, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference proudly celebrates the accomplishments of current and former students. From the playing field to the boardroom, they are the next generation of entrepreneurs, doctors, and executives.
Leaders rise here. Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
Leaders rise here.
Prices are up everywhere, and they're only getting higher, making things harder. So Georgia Power is doing something about it, because you could use some relief. We're freezing our base rates for the next 3 years, so you can count on a stable, predictable budget for your home or business. With the cost of living on the rise, our 3-year rate freeze is one thing you can depend on, delivering the service that Georgia Power is known for. We're here for Georgia, and we're here for you.
We're back at Theodore A. Wright Stadium here in historic Savannah, Georgia. J.J. Jurjevich alongside Todd Corder. This SIAC home opener for both of these, for Savannah State, excuse me. Bodden in shotgun formation with Thomas to his side. There's another zone read scheme. And another laundry, another piece of flag, another whatever you want to call a penalty flag. Other than a penalty flag on the field.
Looks like it's going to be holding.
This will back up Edward Waters, it looks like, but I've spoken too soon before.
Oh, Thomas, good run on that play. There's no hesitation in his game. He just gets it and goes.
James Brown and the officials have been extremely busy tonight.
That's it. Yeah, how many penalties have been in the game?
It's 11 penalties for 102 yards.
Personal foul.
Oh,
illegal block
foul.
Below the waist. Offense. Number 85. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, 85, Brandon Natson, the wide receiver out of Fort Lauderdale.
A freshman.
Was the offender there.
Getting playing time out of Nova High School. And boy, you want to earn playing time? That's not the way to do it.
Not the way to
you'll
come
sit
in and
you'll
get a
sit the
penalty.
bench. Exactly. You will sit the bench in a New York minute, and that really backs them up. But look, you're Edward Waters. You have a huge lead. Run the football. Don't take a lot of chances here, and if you have to punt, it's not an awful thing.
Not at all. Bodden receives the snap in the shotgun formation. Another big hole for Thomas, and he will pick up the first down. Just when you think you're getting something good for Savannah State, a first down happens. Now there's a penalty on the play. Let's see if we can pick up the penalty here.
Look at the right side of that offensive line there. That's going to be a horse collar. You're going to add another 15 yards to that, and that's going to be an Edward Waters first down. I mean, that right side of that offensive line was fabulous on that play, and it gave Thomas plenty of running room.
Personal foul. Horse tackle. Defense. Number 6. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's Napper with the horse collars. You can see getting off as well. They miscalled. That was 44.
44 had the horse collar. That's correct. But nevertheless, it's a first down, and it tacks another 15 yards. So now the ball's on the 45-yard line. Not only did you get out of awful field position, you move the clock and you're almost at midfield.
Yeah, he took a 15-yard run and made it into a 30. That's exactly what you want if you're Edward Waters. A little swing route caught on the outside.
Cam Taylor, the junior from Dallas, Texas, transfer from Bluefield State. That's a heck of a program, Bluefield State. And that is one good program. And look, if you can, there are players out there, they will find you.
Bodden and another throw. They're not taking their foot off the gas at all, is Edward Waters. That's Jean-Baptiste, again, the senior wide receiver, 5'10", out of Mars Hill University.
And they're picking whoever the cornerback is on that far side of the field, and they're going to continue to do it.
7 seconds here in the third quarter as it winds down. They're going to let this one go, and I'm sure we'll take a break right here with them as we go into the fourth quarter. It's 38-14. Edward Waters on top of Savannah State here in Savannah, Georgia.
was number 1 for Savannah State that he talked about could have received?
Vaughn. Or Adams, excuse me.
Was that? No.
Or Roundtree. Defense or offense?
Defense? Yeah, it was, but we haven't called him today hardly at all.
Hardly.
No. This game has been dominated after the 14-0 start. I mean, you can't look at the statistics. I mean, holy smokes. I mean, wow. Yeah, the penalties are just adding up for Savannah State. You can't have 12 penalties and 4 turnovers and expect to win a football game. It's not going to happen. So, but I mean, it's just, that's it. That's the bottom line. One minute out, he said. So there you go. 12 penalties, 4 turnovers, and a partridge in a pear tree. This game's over. There's no way they're going to... They'd have to score 24 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's unlikely. What was it?
Not with the way they're throwing.
What was the final score of the Georgia game?
45-7, I think I saw.
45. You see, I told you they wouldn't allow more than one score. And I bet that wasn't the first string D that allowed it.
No, probably not.
Look at Kirby Smart is a defensive guy, dude. That's his bread and butter. Offense is not his bread and butter. Defense is. Here we go.
$12 penalties, 117 yards for Savannah State, and they are down 38-14 in their home opener, the SIAC opener. And a big weekend for this conference on national television here on ESPN+. I'm JJ Jurjevich alongside Todd Corder.
And you can add the 4 turnovers to that partridge on a pear tree.
Bodden still in the game. And
I don't expect a lot of passing here in the fourth quarter. I expect them to run the football, eat the clock, and get some running backs some carries that don't get a chance to carry the ball very often.
Xavier Esquelin on that tackle.
You know, the history of Savannah State football, we'll get into it later on in the broadcast, is very interesting.
There's Bodden on the end around here, wide open. Like a defender was not in sight. Takes what the defense gives him. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what that was, but he has been wide open all night.
They were fooled. He thought he was going to hand the ball off because he's done it most of the night. That time he carried it, and he wisely went out of bounds. So he doesn't, take a hit or get hurt. That's a smart move.
And I was just referring to the fact that Savannah State was absolutely fooled on that play. 6'4", 220 for Noah Bodden. Big frame quarterback in the pistol formation. High snap brings it down. Terrius Thomas with the great spin move and a stutter step before that to get back to the line of scrimmage, or else that would have been a tackle for loss for Savannah State. And number 46, Stowbridge. Clock running down here, 13.
And Lovett carried that football on that, JJ. Number 6, Lovett carried the football on that last play.
Yes, he did. Bodden barking out the signals. Cam Taylor in motion. Another handoff up the middle to Thomas, who's still running hard late in this fourth quarter. Going to be close to the first down. About 3 yards, 4 yards short.
One of the standouts today for Savannah State is Darian Bell. He has played well, the transfer from Louisville. And Bell, a year ago, had 9 tackles in the win for Savannah State. So Bell has played well 2 years in a row against Edward Waters.
Bodden with 4 wide receivers out wide. Sends in motion Torrey Morrison.
That's a poor throw by Bodden. He didn't set his feet when he threw that ball. He had no chance to complete that pass. You have all the time in the world to complete it. If you set your feet, you probably get the ball to the receiver, and he has a chance for the first down. Instead, you're going to get a field goal attempt. It'll be a 32-yarder. So this will help Edward Waters maybe in the kicking game have an opportunity here.
Gagne with a 32-yard field goal attempt. Made his first one on the night. Good snap, good hold. And the kick looks to be good as well. That will extend the lead to 41 unanswered points. 41-14. Savannah State trails at home.
Plenty of leg on that one. Good sign for the special teams for Edward Waters in the future.
A 10-play, 70-yard field goal, scoring drive with a field goal, 4 minutes, 17 seconds on that time of possession, extends the lead. Again, 41 completely unanswered points by Edward Waters. Complete domination from really about 3 or 4 minutes into the first quarter, Todd.
Who would have thought when Savannah State got out 14-0 that Edward Waters would score 41 in a row? And I'll tell you what, other than those first 14 points, I think Edward Waters has played really well. And if they play like this the rest of the year, they're going to be a contender in this conference. They are a good football team.
Fielded around the 15-yard line, broke wide. 32. Bird on the return out of Gainesville High School in Gainesville, Georgia.
JJ, you're Edward Waters, and you look at the film today, you throw out the first couple of minutes and the first 2 turnovers, you're playing like you're a contender in this conference. Now, playing the higher echelon, you can't have a sequence like that and get away with it. So Edward Waters will have to go to the drawing board and clean that up before their next game.
Christian Burks back in for Savannah State. Going to get a chance to finish out this ball game. Completes a screen pass to Hampton. Boogie's down for about 8.5, 9 yards on that play. We'll have a second down and 1. Good play by Christian Burks. That's what you need. Short, simple stuff. If you're Savannah State, you're just trying to get a scoring drive, get some momentum going, get some young guys in. This is a practice at this point.
And you're also trying to get Burke some confidence back.
100%.
You put Williams in there to give him to sit on the bench and take a look at the situation that you were in.
First down run by David Garner Jr. there. And that's it. You just got to move the chains. Let that clock eat away. This game might have gotten away from you, but the season is still young. And right now, what you want to do is, you mentioned it, get that confidence back to Christian Burke. Make him establish that he's the #1 quarterback. Remember, we had 7 guys competing for this job, Todd.
Oh, my goodness. Big hit there, and Gardner had absolutely no chance. And, boy, he was leveled by Trevin French from East Paulding High School, the Powder Springs, Georgia native. And can you say, ow? He introduced himself and said hello.
That was a violent collision there.
I'm Mr. French. Nice to meet you, Mr. Gardner.
Christian Burks again in this under center. Well, we're in the shotgun 4 wide. Sends David Garner Jr. out on the swing route. Looking deep, stepping up into the pocket, going to have to run for it. Gets what he can, but that will go down as a 2 or 3 yard run, which will bring up a 3rd down. 10:22 left in this 4th quarter here. Todd, long 3rd down here for the Savannah State Tigers.
And Savannah State's been playing football for a long time. Their first year of football here says 1902. They were in the NAIA from 1952 to 1973. They were in Division III from 73 to 81, Division II from 81 to 2000, from 2000 to 2020, they were in D1, and since 19, they're back in D2. How about that for some history of Savannah State?
I'll have to say Edward Waters has done a great job as Christian Burke's dancing around in the backfield. Makes a great catch. That's Adams who breaks a tackle on the left side of the field. He's gone. He could score. If he stays up, he might. He's going to go down at the 1-yard line. Great improvisation by Christian Burke there to keep that play alive. Looking downfield, finds the big receiver Adams, who's the quarterback of this team last year. Here it is.
Yeah, you said it, JJ. Improvising. Great job keeping the play going. A poor tackle there on Adams, and he's off to the races.
Here we go, shotgun pistol formation. Carried in there. Couldn't see. It was 12 on the carry.
That poor tackle made that play, and that allowed Adams to run for the races downfield. If not, it would have been a much different play.
Much different play. Zaire Williams, the senior out of Greenville, North Carolina, on that carry.
All-time record, Savannah State, 301, 506, and 29. These are really some great numbers. They've won 3 SEAC championships in their history.
Burks under center. I love to see this in the red zone. I formation. Don't like the shotgun in this situation. Power it up there and get in the end zone. There they go. Trying to run fit. Did not work well there. And Hampton is pulled down in the backfield right at the line of scrimmage.
He's gobbled up by DeVary Williams. I'll tell you what. Kid's getting some play time, and he got some help from his friends on that play. And now it'll be 3rd down, and you're Savannah State. You need a touchdown here. You need something to build upon for next week.
Under center yet again. Hampton in the deep back position. Play action pass over to the right and drop by Springs. You got to pull that one in. Those are the types of plays that get you going and get an offense in rhythm. And now you're in a 4th down situation. And Todd, if you ask me, I'd take the points here just to get something going. You don't want to just leave your players here in the dry. I'm always a take the points type of guy.
Well, I'm Savannah State. I'm going for it. You need touchdowns, and why not? You can work on your 4th down offense instead of trotting the field goal kicker out there. I like it.
Shotgun formation. Hampton on the right side for pass protection. Picks up the block. Throws it in the end zone to Elijah Stevens. And it was broken up on the play by, can't catch that number, looks like 18, DeJuan Grant.
I'll tell you what. Edward Waters, they know the cadence of Burks. They timed that perfectly to put the pressure on him. And speaking of timing something perfectly, what a defensive play there.
Time out.
Turnover on downs, 41-14, Edward Waters.
Herbie.
As you get a look of Herbie, our camera operator there, who's doing a great job. Give me a thumbs up there, Herbie, if you can hear me, huh? Next 3 games for Edward Waters at versus Miles, September 6th, September 13th, hosts the inaugural Unity Classic versus Virginia Union, and September 20th at Bethune-Cookman goes to the Division I. Here we are in the shotgun formation for Edward Waters. Bodden's still in there.
Boy, Edward Waters is building something, JJ. They defeated Lane 37-23 on Saturday, November 2nd, won their last 2 games, and on the 9th, they had a really nice comeback win against Allen, 33-28. Now you're blowing out a rival in Savannah State. I'll tell you what, Brian Jenkins, who was a big part of the last 2 wins to end the season, now took over as interim head coach, and they're just picking where they left off a year ago. This team, they look really good, and they could make a run at the conference championship. I do believe it.
They played sound football down the stretch here, didn't give up a point for 3 quarters of this game. So I'd have to say they're one of they have completely changed their narrative from the preseason standings to right into this moment here with 6.5 left in this 4th quarter. They're going to let that play clock run all the way down, and there's Thomas fighting his way for another first down. That'll be the 19th first down for Edward Waters this evening. They have run the ball extremely well here in the second half, 83 yards at that, and they've held Savannah State on the other side to just over 20 yards in this second half.
As you see the good job up there, cameraman's doing on the top of that scaffold. I'm afraid of heights. I couldn't go up there. These guys are way braver than I. Then there's another one. Big Daniel right there. There's Big Daniel on the sidelines. Boy, these guys just do an awesome job.
Working hard, fellas. Appreciate it. Hand off to Thomas. To the left side of that defense there. Not a whole lot. Savannah State's pointing like they have the football. Let's stay with this. See what James Brown says. No call yet. They give it to Savannah State. There's a fumble. Right
and Lovett
there
is the one that ran the football on that last play.
Oh, check that. Thank you, Lovett. Makai Lovett there.
So
we have an injury. And that
who
might
is it?
Be Lovett on the ground. I can't quite tell.
I can't tell either. And I
just hope he's okay in a situation like this.
Right. We'll take a look at the fumble here. We do not have the recovery. He stripped it right there, and then they landed on top of him, and that's me. Lovett's the guy that's down.
Yeah, Lovett might have gotten the wind knocked out of him
right
there. Don't want to speculate anything. Darren Bell with the recovery, it looks like. It's 41-14. Savannah State trails at home.
And Bell rung his bell. So,
coming back with this now.
For whom?
For Savannah State.
Oh, yeah, you might as well. You got nothing better else to do. When we need to talk about Savannah State and what they need to do to be successful the rest of the year when you name the schedule.
Lovett was able to walk off the field on his own power. There was a fumble. It's now Savannah State football. Speaking of Savannah State, their next 3 games, September 6th, they host Shorter College, a bye week. Then they get into conference play and travel 2 miles on the 20th of September. And September 27th versus Kentucky State.
Miles, the defending conference champion, they're the ones that went undefeated a year ago, went to the second round of the Division II playoffs. They won the first round by 1 point, 14-13 a year ago, and we'll see how Miles does.
Start the drive at the 24-yard line with a negative play.
And Burks couldn't handle the snap, and it was a mess, and it wasn't Burks' fault. The snap was low, it bounced all around, and Burks did a good job just to fall on the football to create any more damage with about 5 and 10 to play here in the fourth. And Edward Waters with 41 straight points. I'll tell you, anybody that plays Edward Waters, look out. I mean, other than the 2 turnovers, I mean, you had 3 now, but they had 2 turnovers to start the game, which hurt them. Savannah State was able to run the football on that left side of the offensive line. But that since then, Edward Waters has been dynamite.
Christian Burke, another low snap from Palmore. He steps up and gets what he can. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, which will bring up a 3rd and long. And again, I am a points guy. If you don't get this first down here on 3rd, get something going for momentum into next week.
Well, I'm not allowed to bet, and I'm not a betting guy, but I'll bet they go for it here.
I think they will, but I just think it's too prominent to go for it every time. Get some momentum going.
Right. Let's see if they get a good snap. That would really help to start this play. You need a good snap as Trevor French made the tackle on the last play. That was not a good snap. There's holding right there. He got away with it unless they throw the flag. You saw it there on that left side of the field. He grabbed the lineman, grabbed Edward Waters lineman rushing the passer, grabbed his jersey. It was so obvious.
If I've been keeping count, Todd, I think Savannah State's only had about 3 or 4 first downs here in this whole entire second half. They just haven't moved the football very well.
They only have 7 for the game, so you're probably very close.
Here we are, Christian Burks in a shotgun formation. He's sending Clark in motion, picking up what the defense is putting down there. Getting coverages in line. Here we go on this 4th down snap. Christian Burks surveying the field, steps up, has something. It is a little short of the 4th down, of the first down marker. That will not be enough. Was that number?
That was Fowler 9 on the catch.
Was Fowler on the catch? Was that
catch? I believe it was 6.
All right, to the pass, holding, offense, number 72.
Goodness gracious.
That penalty is declined.
Turnover.
First down.
Doesn't matter anyway. Yep.
2 in a row on turnovers on downs for Savannah State, and it's getting late.
Here it is. There's a nice catch. Really nice catch.
By Fowler. Great catch. He
plays a little tight end, a little wide receiver, the transfer from UNC Pembroke. Yeah, but I tell you, I'll say it again. If you're Brian Jenkins, other than the first turnovers, to start the game, the 2 turnovers, this team has played lights out. They have dominated this football game, and they took advantage of one miscue after another by Savannah State.
Edward Waters, 51 total plays for 273 yards prior to this play. 50 plays for Savannah State for 179 total yards, so outgaining them by nearly 100 yards in total offense.
And they've been, one word I like to describe is they've really been methodical. They've gone about their business, nothing fancy. They've made some big plays, but they've also made the running game has really improved in here in the second half, and I can bet you anything, Brian Jenkins will look at the film, and that's what he'll be most pleased about, is them running the football better in the second half than they did the first.
150%, because you run the ball, you grind down possessions, just like you did in this game right here, and you grind the clock, and you can win big-time games that way. Ooh,
he just tripped there.
Just tripped.
We got a new quarterback in the game for Edward Waters.
Demetrius
Boney, who we thought was going to start. because he was number 1 on the depth chart all week. And everything we got from him is you see Boney 6'3", 210-pounder. But I can tell you this week, Noah Bodden's starting next week.
Yeah,
there's no way he's not starting.
He's 100% earned this job. And on the other side, to speak positive, I think Christian Burks has shown enough in this fourth quarter to lead these Tigers out next week.
I'll predict that you're gonna have some competition in next week for Savannah State.
I think Christian Burke did enough to at least get the first team reps in practice. We will see.
I thought Williams gave him a spunk as you see the tackle on the far side of the field.
Tackle on the far side of the field. It will bring up a fourth down here for Edward Waters. Probably punt.
Timeout. This is a 2-minute timeout.
2-minute warning. 41-14 here in Savannah, Georgia.
All Edward Waters are going home to Florida happy.
We're back from the 2-minute warning, wrapping this one up in Savannah, Georgia. J.J. Jurjevich alongside Todd Corder here in the booth at Theodore A. Wright Stadium, where Edward Waters is set to punt it away for the first time in quite a while. Good boot by Friedman. It looks like, is that Gagne still? I think that is Gagne out there. Check that. It is.
What a punt. Boy, now he's been impressive. I mean, he's been perfect with his field goals, and he had an excellent punt there. That is huge.
And Coach Kelton told us in our weekly press conference, you got to invest in that side of the football. And he did, and it's been a difference in this ball game.
There he is right there, 6'1", 195. I mean, what a weapon he is. Think about it. You know, a lot of teams struggle in the kicking game in this conference. I've got to be honest about it. This guy is a weapon. And if the game's close, you know he can make it.
Holding. Receiving team, number 55. 10-yard penalty, the end of the kick, first down.
Another penalty for the Savannah State
How
Tigers.
many is that today? That's
going to be 13 now after that one. Updates here on the live statistics.
You're not beating a soul with 13 penalties and 4 turnovers. You're not going to beat anyone.
It's going to be over 125 yards of total penalties for the Savannah State Tigers. That is going to be a point of emphasis for Coach Kelton. As Burks hands off up the middle to 24, Kendarius Brown, the 5'7", 180-pound sophomore from Hiram, Georgia.
I tell you what, I like Brown there. He kept churning his legs until you blow the whistle. He's out there to play some football. And, like I said earlier, anybody can play up 41-14. Who wants to play down 41-14? And obviously, he does.
This is when you're looking at Coach Kelton, you're looking at the sidelines. You're looking who's involved in the game. You're looking about, hey, does this guy want to get in? Does that guy want to get in? You're looking for response from your team here, and you want to respond to your coach.
There will be no runoff on the play.
No runoff on the clock there. So
James
1:34 to play. This is the final drive of the game here unless we get a turnover.
2nd and 6. Adams in motion. A handoff. Again to Brown. Not a whole lot doing. A loss on the play of about 2 yards.
Tyrese Williams, a good football player, made the tackle.
And, wouldn't surprise me if Savannah State just kind of lets this one go down to about 1 second, snaps it, and just runs it up the middle again, and seeing if he can't just run the clock out with these last 2 plays.
You can see the frustration and disappointment on Aaron Kelton in our picture here. He did not expect this today, especially up 14-0, and it is a look of utter disappointment.
Elijah Stevens goes in motion. Brown again running hard late in this game. 2 yards. Then his forward progress is stopped by a host of Edward Waters Tigers. The Edward Waters Tigers were the better Tigers today, Todd.
Well, and it was led there by O'Neal Webb getting in the game and getting some playing time with 20 seconds to play. And again, an utter disappointment for Savannah State. And if you're Edward Waters, you play like this every week. You look at the 5 over there for the first win for interim head coach Brian Jenkins.
And Aaron Kelton's already on the field at midfield with 10 seconds left in the clock here. This one comes to an end.
Ball game.
It is 41 for Edward Waters. Completely unanswered points to 14 for the Savannah State Tigers as they meet to shake hands at midfield. And this one is a tale of 2 different teams. In the first quarter to the rest of the game, Todd.
Edward Waters dominated this football game after falling behind early, 14-0. And you can see the disappointment on Aaron Kelton, and you can see the jubilation on the sideline of Brian Jenkins Jr. And this guy knows how to win. They have hired the right guy to take over here at Edward Waters. And, JJ, they have beautiful facilities there. I mean, it is an excellent stadium, an excellent facility, and that's what recruits want to see.
Now that's 3 wins in a row for these Tigers. That builds a lot of momentum. Again, going into the season, a tough SIAC conference, these Edward Waters Tigers look like true contenders, Todd.
Through one game they do. They'll just have to clean up the turnovers at the beginning of the game. Because if you get yourself down 14-0, a good team like Miles or Albany State, you're in a lot of trouble. And I'm not saying Savannah State's not a good team. They just played poorly after falling behind 14-0. That's not something that we expected, as you see Brian Jenkins hugging someone on the field.
Into the game here again, 41-14 Edward Waters. They will play the Miles Golden Bears next.
Boy, I tell you,
Well, folks, that's it. As you see, Hampton take it into the end zone early. Garner follows, and then 41 consecutive unanswered points, a scoop and score, a kick return. You saw a little bit of everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm JJ Jurjevich for Todd Corder. Thanks for watching SIAC football on ESPN+.